To go, all eyes on James Hurd at the start of the match. He's going to start in the centre square. Dipper's on the boundary line, and John Russo's up here as always with us on a Thursday or Friday night. Longmire touches it for the first time, and it's going to be a ball up once again. Dipper, great night for footy.
Sensational, Bruce. A little bit swirly down here as usual at the MCG, but you can really sense a strong team involvement here by North Melbourne. They really huddled there for about 3 or 4 minutes before the ball bounces. Expect some fireworks from North Melbourne tonight.
We've got a couple of new fellows in, and Evan Hewitt's back in the team. They've made 3 changes. McCartney bursts his way through and kicks the ball to half forward where Welsh is there, and Barry Young and McKernan. Welsh, who had a very good first half to Hewitt, who was touch play on. Hewitt at 45 metres, kicks across the face of goal and through for a behind. They've got a couple of rookies in Lang and Rawlings, and Wellman and Grigich are back. In fact, Grigich, his first game for the Bombers.
And just talking about the bench here, Brandy Anderson, Craig Scholl, Adam Lang and Brady Rawlings.
He's the 17-year-old Dipper, so their 2 rookies are sitting it out on the interchange bench. Mercedes gets it short and goes back to Buick. Buick out wide. Johnson a target, over the top. An opportunity for Blumfield.
Blumfield gets the hand pass away, and forward go the Bombers through Heffernan. Get the ball to the 50-metre line. A chance here, Lucas. Handball is very good. Blumfield goes in. Blumfield to kick the first goal. Yes, the Bombers have got it on the scoreboard. Some very good team play there by Essendon. He did start the play from left half back, Justin Blumfield, and finished up kicking the goal.
Yeah, it was a fantastic contest from Lucas. He managed to keep his feet. The 2 Kangaroos players flew. Both lost their footing, and he had 2 handball options. He threw to the furthest one. Blumfield ran into an open goal.
Well, certainly set it up. So a good start for Essendon. And Dipper has the Essendon bench.
Robbo, Michael Simons, Judd Lakage, Peter Bergikoff and Blake Carousella.
Thanks, Dip. So the umpire to restart play. Terrific bounce. Up high was Grigich. Couldn't get his hand to it. Knocked forward by Blakey. Knocked away there by Welsh. Ball rebounds to Bell. He knocks it forward. Simpson's on the end of the McKernan hand pass. Simpson, gee, that's a good kick, isn't it? North reply very quickly. Well, a terrific start to Thursday night football. The first game of round 2, the Kangaroos and the Bombers, and the Kangaroos have the lead by 1 point.
And interesting to know, it's a perfect answer for the Kangaroos, Robert, but interesting to note that Dean Wallace has actually picked up Corey McKernan in the forward line. He got a fantastic handball out there. You can expect that to be a very physical duel, but the finish was absolutely spot on.
So fast start as we had last Friday night. Wallace and McKernan, there's the matchup that Jason spoke about a moment ago. Longmire and Wellman's got Durkay, which is an interesting one. Buick can't quite get through. Grigich at it. Kick by Simpson, ricochets away. He's asked to go and get it again by his teammates. Clayton was the man calling Bell's hands were quick to Martin. Fraser did well, held his ground. Probably should have got a free kick. Hurd over the top. Mercedes on the burst, about 70 metres out. Brings it back towards full forward. Mercury, nearly. Not quite. Handball away by Stevens, who's got the job on him. Pickett. Oh, the umpires have swallowed that whistle tonight. That's good. Stevens is at it. And also Lucas. Longmire to Pickett. This is exciting stuff early on. Handball out wide and finds Pike. Pike through half back. Kicks to centre half forward. Good kick. Strong attack at the footy. And the mark taken by McKernan, who started promisingly. They'll need a big one. There's no king out there tonight. That's the Carey king I'm talking about. They go to the pocket. Harvey goes to ground. They're in his back. Play on. They are going to let it go. Abraham is clever across the front of goal. A bouncing ball. It should sit for Hardwick. Hardwick trying to work it towards the line. Abraham, he's brilliant. He's 50 metres out. He's on the left. Measures the kick to full forward. Gives a big fly from Harvey. Nilly. Has it been paid? Forced through by Hurd. It's a behind. John Russo, welcome. We've seen a bit of a change already from the umpires from last Thursday night.
We certainly have, Bruce, and I suppose the one thing that should be said is just because the game flows, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're umpiring the way the game should be umpired. If a bloke is pushed in the back, as Bruce called, then he still should be given a free kick.
How do you like to see it? Do you like to see it flow like that?
I like to see it flow, but if a bloke is infringed, then he's just got to get the kick regardless of whether the ball continues or not. At least acknowledge the kick.
All right, kick in by Fletcher. It covers the players at half back, and Fraser's at the back of the pack. Fraser's kick, didn't he play a game, but that kick is right onto the chest of Pickett. Pickett into the centre of the ground. Marcus taken there by McCartney. McCartney, hand pass away. Blakey, who was highlighted in our marquee matchups. He is a terrific player, approaching 300 games. Oh, wasn't that a good mark by Welsh? Kicked 4 goals last week, kicks it in towards centre-half forward, and the mark is taken by Grant, who very often is a good user of the football. This is no exception. Right in the very difficult area of the ground for the Bombers to defend. Heffernan, Hurd. Don't often see him fumble like that. He's under the pack and he knocks it out, but not quickly enough, James. And he's going to be penalised right in front of goal. Free kick to the Kangaroos.
Robbo, the thing that happened then was James Hurd elected to drag the ball under. The ball sort of came out, but then James dragged it back in. And once he elects to drag the ball in, we see the ball goes to ground. James falls to ground and drags it back under. Once he drags the ball in like that and he's tackled legitimately, then he must immediately hit the ball clear. And we can see
James towards the boundary line, John.
Yeah, blood rule dipper, I think.
Yeah, you can see what he was trying to do. He couldn't find a teammate to get it out to, and he had to hang on to it.
Now, it's been a frantic opening. We haven't had time to go down to Mark Doran with tonight's newsmaker. Mark.
Bruce, tonight's newsmaker is Sean Wellman, one of the most improved players last year, the All-Australian centre-half back. He's back tonight for his first game. He missed last week through suspension. We'll learn at half-time there's no King tonight, no King Carey, but he wishes he was there.
Well, I think that just that little fumble by James Hurd has cost him a few minutes on the bench to fix up that blood. But it's Harvey's kick for goal. Long kick by Harvey. Just endeavouring to get the distance, has hooked it slightly off to the left and scores another behind to the Kangaroos. James Hurd now being ushered off to the rooms to have that cut above his right eye attended to as Fletcher kicks in straight down the ground. This is pretty good. And the mark is taken by Wallace.
Centre half back gives it off to Buick. Buick's measured the kick to Blumfield at half forward. Kicked the opening goal for the Bombers. Centering kick. Pickett leading his man in the race to the ball. That was long. Pike's handball was okay. Kick away by Blakey. Has a second go. Now he's over the top of it. Bomber fans will want a free kick, but on that occasion, Blakey had very little chance. And it'll be a ball up about 35 metres from Essendon's goal. They trail by 3 points early. Kevin Sheedy would desperately love to win this one. Copped a lot of flack. Another blood rule here.
Johnny Blakey, I think, Bruce.
So the marquee is it Adam Simpson, I think.
Adam Simpson,
yeah,
that's right.
Simpson
yeah.
coming off. Sheedy copped a lot of flack, didn't he, last year? Particularly over the North Melbourne situation, and then they went down in the qualifying final. And he'd love to win here. And for Dennis Pagan, well,
not a lot of hurry here by Adam Simpson. Obviously employed Jason to allow Dennis Pagan to settle his matchups with which player comes off the bench to replace him.
Exactly right. I think every time there's a blood rule these days, Robbo, they take their time. They let the bench have plenty of time to work out who they want to come on and how they want to structure the side. And it gets, well, it's a little bit annoying to see them dawdle off the ground, isn't it?
Jace, you're suggesting the players bend the rules or the clubs bend the rules, are you?
We wouldn't do that, Johnny.
Brady Anderson on. You see some of the matchups there. There's Carosella and Anderson. Alessio and Longmire. Alessio, Stevens Rd at best. Hasn't been able to get a hand on a good handball, though. Gets it to McCartney under pressure. About 60 metres from goal. The race is on. Lloyd goes back. Lucas is about 60 metres out. Little kick into a centre half forward. Miss Mercury. Pike's hands were good. He's had a good start to this match. Stevens kicks the ball out towards centre wing. McKernan clearly in front of Wallace. Wants it to sit. He's trying to work it now, McKernan. Wallace with him. Bundled him away. Well played, Wallace, and then turns him inside out. That's a good bit of play. A terrible kick, though, down the line. He may want the boundary line. In the end, he probably got what he wanted. And it's going to be a boundary throw-in at half forward. Wallace got a pat on the head. McKernan, such a player a couple of years ago. Scholl sitting it out. Rawlings and Lang, a couple of the new fellows for the Kangaroos.
Boundary throw-in just forward of centre wing, favouring Essendon. Kick across his right shoulder by Anthony Stevens, and a terrific mark. He's one of the most improved players in the AFL. Damien Hardwick, best and fairest winner for the Bombers. The kick by Mercury into the centre. It's taken by Heffernan. Heffernan, who was named as the first rover, if there is such a thing these days. Heffernan's kick towards full forward, punched away by Lloyd to the front of the pack. Kick off the ground, goes out towards the wing. That's a good mark. Close to the turf. It's been paid to Harvey. It looked all right in my eyes, and in front of Heffernan, Brent Harvey has the football. He's behind the centre of the ground. He'll kick the ball across that area, approaching half forward on his own and taking the mark as Hewitt. trying to make the clash look a little more severe than it was. Kicks it out wide, out in front there of Clayton. Clayton gathers. Onto the left foot goes Shane Clayton, in towards centre foot. Good kick. Oh, a bit of confusion there. Hewitt left it behind. In goes Grigich. Dispossessed. Chance here for Johnson. Little handball, not bad to Fraser. Good kick by Mark Fraser. Caracella. They may get the ball clear. Joe Mercedes onto the left, then back onto the right. Kicks it out wide. Over the top of Pickett. Long was a chance. McCartney knocks it away. Opportunity for Grant. The handball goes to Harvey. Hasn't he been good? Around the neck. Very crude tackle. No advantage. Longmire's pinned. So it'll come back to the centre-half forward area where Brent Harvey will take the free kick.
Looked like a combination of things, Johnny. Not only did he catch him high, but he stumbled at the same time and almost took his head off.
Yeah, actually complaining about the fact that he thought that he actually stumbled and contributed to the tackle, but that wasn't the case.
The kick into the forward pocket, gathered by Mercedes. Wellman with his first really effective kick into the middle of the ground, taken by Simpson. Simpson's hand pass away to Pickett.
Pickett's kick good to Longmire at about 80 odd, make it to 60 metres. Longmire to the pocket, Hewitt the target, at the back, Abraham, Hardwick, that's going to be a pivotal duel. Pike and also Blumfield deliberately pushes it out, Blumfield, boundary throw in.
And Bruce, Dean Wallace has got a big job to do. He's picking up Corey McKernan a couple of times. McKernan seems to have a few yards on him for pace, and if the Kangaroos can give him a bit of space and deliver the ball well, he could really hurt the Bombers.
It's Grigich and McKernan. Scott to Buick, who's playing deep tonight. Left foot around the corner. Mercury-Stevens, there's good matchups everywhere you look. Well played, Mercury. That was terrific stuff. Hefferton's handball's a beauty to Lucas, who's going to stretch Blakey and then kicks it with all his might to Lloyd. With magnificent fly. Couldn't quite hold it. Mickey, resolute as ever, kicks the ball back into Longmire. Longmire outside the defensive 50 now in North Melbourne typical style, bangs it. Long Wallace takes a screamer. He laid up on the back of McKernan and took it on his chest. Wallace away with a high one towards half forward. Alessio versus McCartney comes to ground. Buick's been busy early, round the body, wants Lloyd on the lead, got him. Lloyd couldn't mark it. Martin, geez, a good defender, forces it out.
Wasn't Buick terrific at the front of the pack, running all the way down the ground? I'm sure he was involved across the half-back line, but this mark by Wallace was a sensational leap. But terrific to see Buick. He's an older player now in the competition, but he's still around the football.
That's his bread and butter, Robbo. He knows how to get to the foot of the ball, doesn't he?
So a real struggle here for possession. It's within scoring distance for Essendon. Gathered there by Clayton. Kick away by the Kangaroos defence. McKernan and Mercedes along with Peter Bell not able to get to the ball before it trundles over in front of a very good crowd in the Great Southern Stand here for Thursday night football. The Kangaroos playing host to the Bombers. Well, it's both their home grounds, isn't it? Presently they're both playing a lot of football here at the MCG. Caracella under there, he couldn't get the ball clear. Another struggle for a clearance from congestion. Both sides prepared to do whatever they can to hold it up. Kangaroos 9, lead Essendon 6. We're halfway through the first term. Not a lot of scoring, just a goal each. Umpires Brian Sheehan, Justin Schmidt and John Harvey. The bounce just forward of centre wing. Johnson is there. His debut game for the Bombers last week was very good. Did well there, did very well to Heffernan. Heffernan's left foot kick towards full forward. Bit of confusion there for Pickett. Now a free kick has been picked out. It looks as though it's going to the Bombers. Is the advantage going to be paid? No, it'll come back to Alessio. A little wink by Steve Alessio for Scott Lucas, indicating that he's going to go back and shoot for goal for Essendon.
Yeah, the signal given then, Robbo, appeared to be holding of the jumper, so maybe we will get to see it again in replay after Steve Alessio takes the kick, but here we see it here. And obviously the umpire considered that Steve Alessio's jumper was being held in that marking contest, and Jason McCartney actually indicating in that replay that he thought he was being held by the jumper.
It didn't look to be a lot in it, and it was interesting to see Steve Alessio look up because he wasn't sure whose free kick it was either when the whistle was blowing.
Maybe that was what the wink was all about, Jason. Well, he's a good kick for goal, Steve Alessio. He's usually pretty reliable, and this is no exception. The Bombers have kicked their second. Alessio kicks his first goal for the game. Essendon get their second, and that gives them the lead by 3 points.
And Robbo, they're the goals that really hurt you the most. Perhaps you didn't work hard to earn it. You make the most of a very touchy free kick. There was absolutely nothing in that, but there's nothing worse than letting easy goals in, and the Kangaroos would be steaming over that decision.
Steve Alessio, the goal kicker, along with Justin Blumfield for Essendon, and the goal for the Kangaroos to Simpson.
Bombers in front by 3 points. Crowds really build up here. Very healthy. Be approaching 50,000. Blumfield under the hammer from Stevens. It was a strong tackle. Blumfield had a second go. Buick improvises as he does so often to half forward Lloyd and also Martin. Taken by Lucas, who's busy. Back to Heffernan, having plenty of the footy. Wide kick to the pocket. Free kick to the Bombers. He did it beautifully, actually. Lent back Masidi. Hurd's back by the Bombers, by the way. Masidi did well there. He lent back, didn't he, on Anderson and drew the free kick over the shoulder. 5
kicks to Buick and 6 possessions to Chris Heffernan.
With those, Robbo, the umpire's trying to confirm that it wasn't actually incidental contact, so obviously considered not part and parcel of the marking contest.
Smoking Joe was dropped against the Kangaroos in that qualifying final last year. It was one of the headlines during the week. Kicks the ball, won't goal. Martin, and it's going to be a boundary throw-in. Hitting the post. Now, the interesting thing will be whether Hurd comes straight back on. He's gone down to the rooms to have a look at what was a cut. We know that he's under some pressure with his stress fractures. Let's see how soon it is before he comes back. Carosella gave it up. Martin, it came off Alessio. Lloyd couldn't quite get hold of it. McCartney's over the top. Lloyd's in there with Pickett. And it's going to be a ball up about 10 metres away from Essendon's goal.
Gee, if Matthew Lloyd had been a bludger and laid off him, then I reckon he could have nearly brought a free kick from Jason McCartney.
He probably could have, and he had a half a chance there. If he picked it up cleanly, he was away, just snatched at it a bit, and Mickey won't give him too much space tonight, you can guarantee that.
Michael Long could have nearly been deemed as a throw. The kick comes out, it's marked by Fraser. Mark Fraser has taken the mark. About the man on the mark is about 45 metres from goal. So it will take a kick of some length from Mark Fraser to register a score for Essendon. They lead by 3 points. Mark Fraser from much the same position as Alessio. Oh, good kick. Very good kick by Fraser. Essendon have kicked their third. Fraser a goal, Alessio a goal, and Blumfield a goal. And the Bombers 3 straight lead the Kangaroos 1-3.
And Robbo, Mark Fraser was super impressive last week. Not only did he gather a lot of possessions, he kicked goals. He looks like doing the same thing tonight. He's a very quick player, and it's a long kick. And if he can kick a couple like he did last week, great news for the Bombers.
Fraser kicked 2 of the Bombers' 5 goals in the first half last week, and he scored an early goal here. So the Bombers edge away with some accuracy. Harvey out of the side, kicks to half forward. Hardwick went over the top of it with Abraham. McKernan couldn't quite. Wallace did to Young. Young to centre wing. Carosella worked underneath it by Simpson. Back into the centre, Blumfield. Written into the ground by Pike. Play on call. Comes back to Longmire. Handball to Clayton. Clayton at his 3rd AFL club. Gets around Grigic a bit too easy, and then kicks to about 50. McKernan's big stretch. Johnson's taken it. As Robbo said, there's a lot to like about this first-year player. Gets Bruce, it to Fletcher.
No, there'll be a 50-metre penalty paid, Bruce, because I think it was Dean Wallace ran in from the side and considered to have been...
Couldn't be Dean Wallace, easy.
James Hurd about to come on.
Yeah, just ran into the protected area, so the 50-metre penalty paid for that encroachment.
Kangaroo player's a bit stiff too, Bruce, because he looked like he had played on.
So Hurd on, by the way. So Johnson, heart of the centre square. It's 9-18. The Bombers lead by a goal and a half. He keeps it low to centre half forward. Alessio McCartney work to the front. Pickett outnumbered. Ball back to Fraser. Back to Hurd. Hurd getting clear. He's about 52 metres out. The kick's going towards the goal square. Martin getting back. And Bell was back there and it's a behind. Hurd instantly getting involved. 10-point margin.
Certainly moving okay, James Hurd, at the moment. He doesn't appear to be favouring the troublesome feet. We'll have to see how he progresses throughout the match.
Pickett to bring it back in. Yes, if you've just joined us, Mark Doran breaking the news that Hurd apparently in a lot of trouble with stress fractures and a day-to-day proposition at this stage of the season. There's Pike.
Well, he's recovered. Didn't he suffer a heavy knock last week from Jason Mooney? His kick is well marked by Lloyd. Like the way Lloyd started this game, he looks as though he's in for a bit of a blinder. The kick goes to Hardwick. Hardwick is just forward of the wing. No one really to kick to, so he sweeps around onto the right and gets good distance to centre half forward. Little push out. by McCartney on Alessio.
And that's reasonable, Rob. I mean, as you called it, it wasn't a big push, but it was just appropriately timed to make sure that Steve Alessio couldn't contest that mark. So no doubt at all that when McCartney comes in, he puts Steve Alessio out of the contest, and Steve Alessio deserved that free kick.
Just looked a little clumsy, didn't it, from Jason McCartney? And, well, with 3 umpires, you just don't get away with that sort of thing anywhere on the field. The umpire was in a terrific position to make that judgment. We spoke about Alessio's shot at goal earlier. He made no mistake. This is a much easier shot at goal, straight in front. And there you go, folks. Gets the harder one and misses what looked to be a fairly simple shot at goal for Steve Alessio. Coach's box for the Bombers, Kevin Sheedy and Mark Harvey, one of his trusty assistants.
Pickett's long kick is a good one to Harvey. We saw Harvey get a number of kicks in this position last week into Pike. Pike running the ball, awkward kick. Abraham underneath a very strong mark in front of Hardwick. I said earlier that's going to be a pivotal duel between 2 fine players. Abraham's normally a great kick. He kicks to fall forward. A free kick surely against Fletcher going early. In a bad position to give it to Hewitt.
Yeah, the hands went down on the shoulders, Bruce, as you called it, and clearly infringed, so the free kick correctly paid. We see the hands go down on the shoulders, no attempt to mark, so not incidental contact.
Just timed his run, didn't he?
Yeah.
He got
Too close.
Caught. Yeah, he got too close to Hewitt in the end.
And Bruce, again, it highlighted the fantastic skill of Winston Abraham. He wheeled out to his right, all the Kangaroo players had led to his left, and he was able to drive it long, straight to the point they were leading to.
Hewitt from 40 metres out, drifting. I think he's happy though. It looks like it's a goal. So against the tide a bit, the Kangaroos through a bit of Abraham magic and maybe an unfortunate free kick with Fletcher. The Kangaroos get one back.
It certainly was a clumsy climb by Dustin Fletcher, and again tonight we've seen quite a few decisions given in the forward 50. Alessio's kicked one from a free kick and missed one, and now that's squared it up with Evan Hewitt.
And one of the Bomber infiltrators, if you want to call him that, Mark Thompson, assisting Dennis Pagan this year, having done a lot of that work with Kevin Sheedy over the past couple of seasons since retiring. Gee, big leap by Carosella. Mickey Martin, McCartney, quickly onto his right boot, kicks it out wide. Opportunity here for the Kangaroos. Should make something of this. Longmire's kicked to half forward. Big punch away there by Heffernan. Goes to the feet there of Alessio. Mercury dispossessed. Fletcher caught with the footy. Gets the handball away. Mercedes running onto it. Just bangs it onto his boot and kicks it forward. And Lucas, he couldn't quite take the mark. But in goes Michael Long. The excitement machine for the Bombers. He's got the goal. Good on you, Michael Long. He's had lots of problems with leg injuries over the years, but everyone remembers 1993, Michael, and he's done this very nicely for the Bombers.
Did everything right, Scott Lucas. Pushed his opponent, Blakey, out of the way. Just couldn't take the mark, but always on hand, Michael Long. And if he gets a yard of space, he's away and running.
So Michael Long's first goal, all singles for the Bombers. Craig Scholl and young Adam Lang warming the bench for the Kangaroos. The bounce at the centre. Alessio gets his hand onto it. Really an ineffective knockout. Mercedes shares it with Fraser, and down the ground goes Mark Fraser.
Driving, penetrating kick to fall for Carosella, Pickett and Long. Lloyd, Pickett goes to ground, gets up quickly. Martin, Pickett's Shepherd on Buick is a beauty. Martin gets it to Pickett. Pickett's low kick down towards centre wing. Mercedes did well. Fraser's in good nick again to Lucas. Lucas controls it to centre half forward. Bouncing ball. Pike attacks it. Couldn't do it. Blundfield's handball good. Long's handball over the top. Sets up Mercury, who should go. He does. It's good stuff. The Bombers. They worked that very well.
The foot skills of Mark Mercury are just absolutely fantastic. He was a little bit off balance when he received the handball. He only had one step to get balance as we see the ball coming in here. A quick handball comes out. Long over to Mercury. One step. He's under pressure from the North Melbourne, from the Kangaroos defender, but he's just good enough to settle. He knows where the goals are and made no mistake.
Blumfield's handball originally was a beauty too, wasn't it?
Yes, my word, Bruce, instinctive, and found its target in Michael Long. He in turn to Mercury. Exquisite skills, Mark Mercury. A tussle at the centre bounce. Bashed forward by Adam Simpson. Chance here for Harvey again. Gets it out to Stevens. Stevens, acting captain for the Kangaroos tonight. Big punch by Fletcher to the fall of the ball. Well done, Mercedes. Tried to tap it for Young's advantage. Abraham dispossessed by Hardwick. Gee, they were strong in defence. The Bombers, Mercedes has a look. Kicks the ball to half forward. Lloyd at the back. Got rid of Martin. Run down by Scott. Handball to Buick. Buick from 50 metres. Wrap it up, Darren Buick. You little beauty. Darren Buick, a goal. Oh, is this champagne footy by the Bombers? And they've kicked 6 all singles, and they control this game 6-2 to 2-3.
I was just going to say to Jason, Robbo, that was Damien Hardwick's desperation on the half-back line that really started all that. It was fantastic.
And isn't it just absolutely classic Darren Buick? As soon as he found the space, he zeroed in on the goals. He loves to kick them on the run. He had the players streaming towards him, which left the goal square open. And that's a fantastic finish from deep on that flank. Pretty happy with it too.
Is that the definition of lapping it up, Robbo?
Oh, I'd say so, Bruce, with a lot of delight. The bounce back at the centre. The Kangaroos have been challenged, and they really have to find something. Peter Bell hacks it out of the centre. Thrown away from the ball was young Rawlings. Kicked away by Barry Young. Left foot kick is good. Finds Hurd at left half back.
Crowd gave him a mighty roar. It's a great kick to Alessio. This is exciting stuff. To Heffernan. Heffernan about 60 metres from goal. Lloyd's the target. Martin did well. Ball comes to ground. Lloyd outnumbered. They're all over him. There's 4 of them. It's play on call. Going to the line. Blakey gets it. Boundary throw in. Gee, the Bombers are hard tonight. They are so hard at the Kangaroos. 2-3 to 6-2. Kangaroos have got to stay firm here and hang on. It's a long way to go in this footy match. Alessio. Blakey. Is that out on the full? Touched by Lucas, so boundary throw in. Geez, a good player, Buick. 300th career goal that a moment ago. 300 goals for the Bombers. Simon Madden's the record holder there with 575 in front of John Coleman, but Buick joins the 300 club. Carousella. Blumfield wanted to give it off, wasn't sure. Kicks the ball to centre half forward. Lucas attacks it hard. Stevens underneath it. Well done, Mercury. Stevens under pressure. Just got it out. Scott's little toe poke doesn't go far. Mercedes played a beautiful first quarter. Fletcher went without it. Now there's a chance for the Kangaroos to come away. The kick there from young Rawlings with his first touch. Wellman bursts away from half back. Beautiful kick out wide to Carousella. They're finding plenty of space. Alessio's on his own. Lloyd's on his own in the goal square. Martin's got it. No, Alessio will go back and have a shot. Blakey got back to cover Lloyd at the last moment.
Well, Bruce, the Bombers will have a shot from about 40 to 45 metres out, and they can thank Barry Young. A fantastic piece of work across half-back. He was out of position. He dived at full length just to get his hands in front of the ball, knock it down, a switch of play, and it results with a 45-degree angle and one you'd probably expect Alessio to kick, Robbo.
He missed the easy one, and he kicked the hard one earlier on. Kicks from about 48. Drifting back, it's a goal. He's got his second. It's a big lead now.
Absolutely amazing, isn't it? He kicks the goal from the, very difficult angle there.
But he is a good kicker.
He is a good kick at goal. But the shot earlier, we had a terrific picture of it, wasn't it? Right in front, 40 metres out, and he missed.
I'll tell you what, Robbo, I'd love to have a look at this kick again, because I can tell you right now, it did plenty in the air.
It was a Stephen Kernahan special.
I reckon that started about the left point post and came back. Absolutely bent a mile, but at the end of the day, they don't say how you kicked it, they only say whether you kicked it or not. That's a goal to the Bombers.
Well, Carousella got the ball down to him. Go, Dip.
And both the new boys are on the ground at the moment. Lang and also Rawlings playing up the forward line.
Well, we'll watch their form with a lot of interest, but they won't get the chance here if they're on the Kangaroos forward line, because Buick's delivery to Long. We mentioned Lucas, Lloyd and Long in the strategic spotlight, and they have had plenty to do with this lead that the Bombers enjoy at the moment. 7-2 to 2-3.
This looks like an enthralling battle too. Pickett on to Long. They're both very creative players. It's going to be a beauty.
Michael Long goes short. Not all that good, that selection there. Simpson gets the ball away. In a little bit of trouble was Harvey. Well, fortuitous. Maybe he meant it. The skills of the modern-day AFL footballer. He got it off to Pike. Pike's kicked to half forward. Chance for the Kangaroos here. Rawlings kick. Well done. Clayton's on the end of it and will have a shot for goal. Actually, I think that kick came in from Rawlings. And the mark has been taken by Shane Clayton. So if the Kangaroos desperately need a goal, they certainly do here. It was young Lang, actually, that kicked the ball in. And Shane Clayton taking a safe chest mark, well within scoring range. It is a 29-point margin in favour of the Bombers. Clayton trying to make it 23. It's a good kick. It's a goal to the Kangaroos. Badly needed. Shane Clayton, his first goal in this match. And the third goal for the Kangaroos. The margin 23 points in favour of the Bombers.
It wasn't great to see a young fellow, Adam Lang, just getting an early touch. Under plenty of pressure, threw it on the boot, and that's all you've got to do is keep it moving forward. Shane Clayton on the receiving end, and that certainly was a crucial goal. They needed to do something just to stem the tide that the Bombers have created in this opening term.
He's just doubled his AFL goal-kicking tally. He'd only kicked one goal prior to tonight. That was an important kick. There's Lang. Played in a grand final for Sturt under Philip Carman last year in Adelaide, when he kicked 3 goals in a close match where the Port Adelaide Magpies beat them. Alessio run into the bounce. Masiti crashed and crunched, really, by Simpson. A ball up. That was an important kick for the Kangaroos. It closes the gap a bit. 21-44. Abraham, Pickett and Durkay, 3 of their great players. Alessio Rd has been off the ground with a blood roll and went down into the changes. And Masidi missed the body.
Throw.
Harvey's quick kick. It's coming back. Is it for a throw?
Yes, that's right, Chris.
Against Grant. I was going to say it was the slickest hand pass I've seen.
So Johnson's going to take it. Just the defensive side of the centre circle.
Forward pass anyway, I think.
Hit it with an open hand.
Blumfield's the target at centre wing. Quickly on it, Mercury. Ridden into the ground by Stevens. Gets a second go. Off the ground by Pike. Back to Blumfield. Blumfield works to the line. Boundary throw in. Not far from our broadcasting box. We've got a great view here at the Melbourne Cricket Ground, as you do at home on the 7 network around Australia. Buick, Hardwick, found some space and then gives it all he's got towards half forward. Lucas at the back. Martin under pressure. Gets it to Blakey. Blakey wants the boundary line. Gets it. Boundary throw. Free kick. Delivery.
What chance did he have?
But he also went down the line by about 10 metres.
Yeah, well, he's being tackled. He has to dispose of the ball. What's he supposed to do? Knock it back into the corridor?
Well,
What do you think, John?
Well, I certainly think that Johnny Blakey intended to punch the ball over the line, and that's the only thing the umpire has to adjudicate on. The instruction given to them was that regardless of whether it gains ground or not, if they think he was trying to put it over the line, that's it.
It's a good kick by Buick. It's a goal. It's a goal from Buick. He's second. It was never going to miss. We were right behind it. It might be the luckiest goal of the first quarter, but it was a good kick.
Well, there's been a few interesting free kicks up forward. I'm still not totally convinced that was a free kick.
Yeah.
Johnny, I think there's a difference between hitting to the boundary and hitting towards the boundary. I mean, when you're under pressure down back, the backman's best friend is the boundary line. Now, he's gone up the boundary. He didn't go straight to the boundary. That's a tough decision.
I agree with you, Jace, but as I said, I'm just repeating what the instruction given to the umpires was earlier in the year, and that was that if they move up the boundary line, then that's not to be taken as it not necessarily being deliberate.
An 8-goal opening term. This is impressive. Simpson's handball to Grant. They've kicked 3 themselves. It's a bit like last week, but the Kangaroos are on the receiving end. They too came out hard against the Cats and had a good lead early. Wellman towards the line. Now, is that deliberate? No, that's a boundary throw. We're going to be looking for it all night now, aren't we? And so are the 50,000 people who are here.
Bruce, I'm just waiting for the first day that a defender actually handballs back into the corridor, clocks the goal and then gets dragged. It's only a matter of time.
Gee, I wouldn't want to do it if Dennis Pagan was coaching. Big quarter. A big bomber quarter. 3-3 to 8-2. They've set themselves up here. As I said last week, the Kangaroos came out running. They kicked 8 goals themselves last week in the opening term against the Cats, who kicked 5, but tonight they're on the receiving end of an 8-goal opening quarter.
Bombers have kicked 16 goals in their last 2 quarters of footy.
Yeah, they finished strongly against Carlton. It's not bad form, is it? If you put the two together, they'll be hard to beat against anybody. Hurd, who's been the subject of a great deal of speculation late today about his immediate future. But the situation at quarter time is that the Bombers lead by 50 over the Kangaroos, who are 21.
And Hurd's gone to full forward. Bruce, it?
Yep, Hurd at full forward. 21 to 50. Alessio and Buick were the multiple goal scorers in the opening quarter. Long wide back to Grant. Buick tracked the cheese in good nick tonight. Going to ground there is Rawlings, the 17-year-old, the only teenager out there this evening. Grant after it, and it'll be a ball up. Shannon Grant.
Interesting to see young Mark Johnson too as the ball was running forward there, Bruce. He just about jumped out of the way to let Darren Buick get the run of because he's so hot at the moment.
Longmire lays it down towards Stevens, and Blumfield puts the tackle on Pike, and again a ball up.
Actually, Johnny Longmire hasn't been too bad at the centre bounces. They just haven't had the ability to break away, the Kangaroos, from the congestion.
And it was one of the points in the match that was talked about last week, was Geelong's ability to win the centre square, with Hocking in particular.
That's been paid for holding the man, but definitely incorrect disposal. I mean, he did the classic KB, threw the ball out in front and just waited for the tackle, and incorrectly rewarded.
You'll be watching tonight too, Kevin Bartlett, the KB you referred to.
Well, that is a big blooper. That rule's been in for many, many years and shouldn't be paid that way.
Pickett to Grant, Grant to half forward.
And to left half forward for the Kangaroos. Punched away from Hewitt by Fletcher. A disciplined player, Dustin Fletcher. We saw him make an error in the first quarter, which cost the Bombers a goal. But usually a very reliable player in defence for the Bombers. And Dipper, the Kangaroos bench at the start of the second term.
Yeah, we mentioned Robert Scott, Gary Durkay, Brandy Anderson and Adam Lang.
Thanks, Dipper. Rawlings trying to get through. Bell, hand pass. Simpson's kick. Not marked back there by Wellman. Good pressure provided by Rawlings. Allows the ball to spill out to Bell. Good kick by Peter Bell, but just missing off to the right. And the first score of the second quarter is a behind to the Kangaroos kick by that player, Peter Bell. Another one of the recruits that Dennis Pagan has worked very hard and very productively with. Peter Bell since crossing from the Fremantle Dockers. And the ball brought back into play here by Dustin Fletcher. 50 plays 22. A 28-point advantage. Alessio's tap is to the advantage of Fraser. The little kick is good. Johnson's handball. Lucas, we mentioned about the strategic spotlight. And have a look at Scott Lucas go with a long left foot kick. He found the other loper in Lloyd, but it was over the line and registers a behind kick by Scott Lucas. And at the start of the second term, the Essendon bench, Dipper.
And the big Ilias there, as we see, Peter Burkhoff, Judd Lalick and Michael Simons.
Thanks, Dipper. Pickett overran it. Little toe poke coming back towards Michael Long. Blakey give to Martin. Martin at the back pocket kicks the ball towards centre wing. Good defensive built away at the back by the Kangaroos. Mercedes in close. Hardwick got it from Johnson. Johnson looks a good prospect. Back to about 50. Lloyd, well played. Martin, who's had a good tussle with Lloyd early. Carousella, Buick, that was a hot footy. Hands and knees, Pike. Stevens and Hurd, good contest. Hurd will want a free kick for holding it. And he'll get it
from the umpire right back near the centre.
So Hurd, who has pinged himself.
Yeah, we see the tackle actually grabs one arm here. He's got the footy in the right hand, and Hurdy grabs the left, and obviously no way of disposing of that ball because he couldn't kick it.
Great kick by Hurd to Lucas. Lace out stuff, wasn't it? Lucas was good enough to take it in front of his face under pressure. Lucas is a great foil for Lloyd, isn't he? I mean, they're a tremendous combination.
Yeah, it's hard to really work out who the most dangerous is, but James Hurd's been a little bit quiet tonight. He's only had the 4 touches, but he doesn't need many to have an impact on the game.
He has sat out a bit of the match, going down into the rooms. Well, Lucas should go, and the Kangaroos are in trouble early in this match. Is it coming back? He likes it. He likes it a lot. So Lucas gets his first, and when you consider that Lloyd hasn't kicked a goal, gee, the floodgates could really open up here if the Kangaroos are not careful.
9 goals to Essendon and 7 individual goal kickers.
I think that's a very good sign, not relying on one or two particular key forwards. We know that Lloyd and Lucas are the central points of focus, but having that many individual goal kickers is a very, very good sign for any side, Robbo.
Well, just 21 years of age, Scott Lucas, and I think Bruce mentioned before the game started, hasn't missed a game for a couple of years. Johnny Longmire forces the ball forward for the Kangaroos, badly in need of a goal. Rawlings hand pass, Pike, slippery, well done, Clayton. Can he get his second goal? Shane Clayton kicks across the face of goal, and a good mark. Strong mark in front of Wallace, taken by Corey McKernan. If the Kangaroos are to have a chance, you would think that Corey McKernan has to kick 5, 6, maybe 7 goals up there.
He certainly will, Robbo, and Dean Wallace just got caught out by an odd kick there. It came a little bit off the inside of the boot. He was trying to feel contact with the man, didn't quite get him, and Corey McKernan took an easy mark and kicked a very good goal.
McKernan's first goal. Shane Clayton instrumental in getting the ball forward. The Kangaroos have kicked their 4th, but they still trail by 29 points.
Gee, they needed a Jason.
They certainly did. They're under siege here at the moment, Bruce, and they're going to need a lot more of this. They've got to get the ball forward a lot more often. They've got to give McKernan a chance, one out with Wallace. That's where he's going to get his best results.
He's got to put up a Carey-like performance tonight, doesn't he, for the Kangaroos to get over the line, you'd think. It's got to be a dominating performance from him. But it's still a lopsided scoreboard. It's 4 goals, 4 to 9-3. In the centre, Alessio Longmire did well. To Bell, to Stevens. Stevens out of the centre to centre half forward. Rawlings, bad bounce. Well done, Abraham. Attacked it. Great play by Wellman. Sensational. Mercedes' hands beautiful to Mercury. This is good counter-attacking footy. Carousella's in front of Blakey. Coming in hard. Pickett. Carosella beautifully done to Long. This will be a sensational goal. He's missed it. He's missed it. That was, from the moment they took it from centre-half back from Wellman, as good a pressure footy as you'd ever see.
That was just incredible skill from the moment at left-half back, and that's a wonderful tap inside from Blake Carosella. The only disappointing factor is after such a good run of play, Michael Long couldn't finish.
Well, the kick into Martin, back to Pickett. Pickett doesn't mind running with the football. Bounces once and kicks it out towards the wing. No mark. No, certainly no mark. Johnson and Lloyd, the players there for the Bombers. Wallace comes away with the footy. Out wide to Carosella. Carosella from about 70 metres. Kicks to the danger area. The Kangaroos under pressure, but Pickett is there. Gathers the football, always looks beautifully balanced. Byron Pickett. The kick out to Scholl. He's on the ground. Kicked away by Hardwick. No nonsense footy by the Bombers. Out close to the boundary line. Pike gets rid of his opponent. On that occasion was Alessio. Hand pass, Longmire. Still Johnny Longmire. Gets his right foot to it. Kicks it towards half forward. Buick gets back to do the crumb gathering. His left foot kick falls short. Strong play by Damien Hardwick. Gets the handball to Barry Young. Young streams through the centre. Down towards goal. He'll get caught. Grabbed the footy, then got the hand pass away. Long shrugs the tackle. Michael Long, left foot snapshot for goal. Is offline, misses everything. Out of bounds on the full. 30 points the margin in favour of the Bombers as Adam Simpson brings it back into play for the Kangaroos.
He's got the job on Hurd in this quarter, gets it almost to centre wing. Blumfield very good to Lucas, who's such a long kick. Look at that for penetration, gives Lloyd the chance. Got him. It's a great kick by Lucas. It's the penetration that puts the pressure on the defence.
It certainly is. There's nothing worse from a defender's point of view of having a long kick coming in when you're one out. All of a sudden you're looking to feel where your opponent is. Mick Martin didn't have contact then. He's normally strong enough to hold his ground, but Matty Lloyd was good enough to work him under, take a solid grab. Now he needs this to get his confidence up, and they'll need a lot more out of him if they really want to take this game away.
Straight in front. Through the middle. They've got 10 goals, the Bombers. And the man who's been their leading goal kicker for the last 2 years gets his first after Lucas kicked the ball 55 to 60 metres into the goal square.
Now,
certainly was a wonderful disposal into the forward line, and as you say, Robert, 8 individual goal kickers. That just makes it a nightmare for Dennis Pagan. He doesn't know where the onslaught's coming from. It's not like you can switch your best defender onto one particular player that's giving you trouble. It's coming from everywhere.
Yes, there are some concerns there in the Kangaroos coach's box. It's a bit of an onslaught by Essendon. They've kicked 2 goals already in the second term, 1 goal to the Kangaroos.
The same against Carlton, Jason. They had about 5 or 6 goal kickers, and as you mentioned there, if it's not Lloyd, it's Longy. If it's not him, it's Buick. So terrific fall at the moment.
So the bounce, not far from the original bounce that restarted play. Welsh, kick across his left shoulder, pretty good. Wallace's punch away. The ball spills for Buick. Just hacks it out of there, back towards centre wing. Advantage with Fraser, back to Buick. He's having a game, isn't he, Darren Buick? The kick towards half forward, puts the pressure under the defence of the Kangaroos. Welsh again, dispossessed. Good pressure by Michael Long. What's Wellman doing all the way up the ground? Harvey out to Welsh. Oh, Long applies the tackle. He has been a little terrier there in that passage of play. McCartney gets the ball to Harvey. Harvey to the middle of the ground, gathered by Grant. Grant goes straight towards goal. McKinnon! That's a free kick if he didn't take it, surely. Scholl shrugs the tackle. Scholl goes for goal. Then he's put it through the Bombers. Maybe a little stiff, but the goal kick by Scholl.
And I think you were spot on there, Robbo. Look, fantastic for the Kangaroos, and Craig Scholl finished the goal off very, very well. But for mine, that is a dead-set, blatant free kick.
Yeah,
I mean,
again,
sometimes, Johnny, if you take the mark, they let you get away with it. But even on this occasion, he used both hands. We didn't quite see it there. He used both hands to get lift off, and I think he may have dislocated a finger there.
Well, he had trouble in the finals last year with a dislocation, a bad dislocation. It could probably be the same circumstance.
You're the expert, John. What do you pay a free kick?
Well, yeah, I think that is a free kick. Hands on the shoulders to get elevation and then takes it, or didn't take the mark, so that's the clincher.
Scholl gets the goal, so the Kangaroos get one back. They're within 5. Masidi out of the centre. Kangaroos need to string a couple together. Johnson couldn't break her. Durkee, well done. Slick hands to Shannon Grant. Grant kicks the ball low to half forward. He's found his man in McKernan. Robbo talked about him 10 minutes ago. If they're to win, he's going to probably have to play a match to remember.
He's capable, Bruce. He's very capable.
Well, in 1996, he was arguably the best player in the competition. He's going to kick the ball from 50.
One of the few players that doesn't have to worry about distance when he's kicking from this range.
Didn't quite time it. Fletcher flies, ball comes to ground. Wellman doesn't concede. Now he does. I think he had a look. Well,
didn't like the options, Bruce. He thought, no, I'll go back and have a kick. I think.
Why be a hero? We're 5 in front.
He saw a double brick wall, I think.
He did. So Fletcher to bring it in. 5-5, plays 10-4.
Good kick by Dustin Fletcher to the advantage of Buick. Onto him quickly was Grant. No free kick. Shannon Grant might kick a goal here. He's a beautiful kick. That really is to the advantage of Abraham, not able to get there. Wasn't Hardwick pretty good because he got back and provided a good contest with Winston Abraham and forced a rush behind to the Kangaroos.
Darren Buick not happy that he wasn't paid that mark. He certainly had a few words to say.
Fletcher to himself and then gets good distance again, well outside his defensive 50. Good mark taken by Johnson. Runs away from Harvey, approaches centre wing, kicks past that position, getting rid of his opponent Carousella. Unfairly, says the umpire, who again was in a terrific position to make that decision. And the free kick will go to the Kangaroos to Blakey. Quickly on to Stevens. He's at right half back.
Goes long, McKernan the target with Hewitt. Bell breaks the pack. Bell, clever little kick around the corner to Scholl. Scholl has an open forward line. He'll go quickly on. The Pagans panic. Clayton the target. Abraham got it. Winnie. Oh, Winnie's come from nowhere.
Really had his name written all over that one, Bruce. He had a clear run into the pack. The ball was just the perfect height. It dropped as he hit the pack full pace. And he certainly is a spectacular player. Look at this. He had a free run at it. They're all jostling for position. Not a hope of holding him out.
He's great to watch, this fellow. He really is. He can do so many skillful things. He continually excites. He's a goal kicker. They need him to kick 3, 4 or 5 tonight like they need from McKernan. Must kick this. Kangaroos are coming back a bit here. In front. He's got it. I like what I see from a Kangaroos point of view in the last 5 minutes. They've responded a bit here.
Well, it's 22 points. It's the closest they've been for probably 20 minutes of football. certainly towards the end of the first quarter. They were in arrears at 29 points at quarter time, and they've been no closer than this for, as I said, about 20 minutes of football. Abraham, the goal kicker, he certainly had some excitement, Jason.
Oh, he does. He's a mercurial player, but they're going to need a lot more of that, Robbo, if they're going to be any sort of chance tonight.
Well, Pickett finished up. He had to leave it for Anthony Stevens, and it turned out to be all right. Harvey grabbed there by Heffernan. Heffernan allowed to go on with the football. Kicks it towards right half forward. Martin, the free kick. It's against Lloyd on this occasion for holding.
For holding the jumper, Robbo, that's right. Exactly as you called it. Matty Lloyd just grabbed Michael Martin's jumper.
And no remonstration from either player, so they're quite prepared to get on with the game. Martin's kick to half forward. Here's a chance. Craig Scholl, he's having an influence. By gee, that's a good kick. Great distance and great accuracy by Craig Scholl. He's only been on the ground for a short while, and he's already kicked 2 goals.
He might be just the spark they need, Robbo. That was a fantastic finish. He rode the pack beautifully. He's good in the air. He's good on the ground. In this case, he picked the ball up off the ground. He struck that from 50, and did he tee off? He's timed that perfectly, and that's gone through post high.
Big kick. Reckon he might have been one of the players that Dennis Pagan was talking about. Senior players stepping up. Feel like the relationship between Pagan and Scholl has always been an uneasy one, even when Scholl had played pretty well. But his last 5 or 6 minutes has really brought the Kangaroos back into the match. Buick out of mid-air to centre half forward. It's all happening now. Blakey's got it. The Kangaroos are coming back strongly. Wide. Stevens has been important in the centre square. Good kick to Martin. Don't they love it when Mickey runs forward?
Unfamiliar territory for Mickey down there.
Between centre wing and half forward. Gives it all he's got. Kicks the ball in the direction of McKernan. Wallace at the back. Abraham in there. Still Abraham. Ball with Durkay. Abraham. Little handball out. Harvey's handball. Grant. Caught by Simons to Scholl. Scholl back to Stevens. A high ball to full forward. It's going to land in the goal square. Welch the big fly. Wellman belted it away. Wellman goes to ground. He's going to have to get it out. He does. Fletcher works it back. They keep a cool head. He goes towards the line. Surely not umpire. You couldn't do that.
Look, Bruce, while we're talking about that, I mean, it is interesting. Terry Wheeler actually said to Peter Schwab that he had to be very careful tinkering with deliberate out of bounds because, as Jason said, it's the defender's best friend in many occasions.
Corey McKernan to do the ruck work up against Wallace at the back. Chance here. Grant gets his left foot to it. Scores, but just to behind.
Yes, it was interesting. Going back to that point, we had a meeting at 7 Sport a couple of weeks ago. We were addressed by Peter Schwab and also Rowan Source, and they talked about the deliberate out of bounds, and Terry Wheeler did make a very quick comment to Peter Schwab to be very careful about it all.
Johnson receives the kick in. 15 points the advantage in favour of the Bombers after they led by 29 at quarter time. Michael Long steadies, kicks to half forward. Pickett in front. He's crushed to the ground. And he'll take the free kick.
Pushed in the back in the marking contest, Robbo.
Could have nearly got 50 metres too, Johnny. Short kick. Clayton has marked the ball wide of the centre circle. Gets back quickly. McCartney screaming for it. Up towards half forward. McKernan provides the lead. Little push out by Wallace. Kick by McKernan. Hits the behind post after bouncing inside the field of play. So it'll be a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the Kangaroos.
North are starting to play in front all over the ground, from the back line through the middle and the forward line. So when the ball drops short on the forward line, the Crumbers are starting to get a few kicks now, boys.
McKernan, Dipper running the boundary. Scholl at the back. Bell back to Scholl. Could he kick a third? Left foot. It's good. He's kicked 3. No, he's missed. I'm sorry. I apologise. I thought it was a goal. Hooking it back. Sorry, North fans. 50-64. Fletcher wide to Long. Long high to centre wing. Lucas and Pickett. Lucas with the height advantage. If he can get it on, they've got a chance here. He didn't use Buick. That was interesting. And then an average old kick to the pocket. Fraser coming off, Lalich coming on, and I think Buick's coming from the ground, and Grigic about to come on for the Bombers.
And Sean Wellman, Bruce, just told Lucas, why don't you pass it on, because he was clear vision the forward line then.
It was poor play. He had two of the best running players from the Bombers going by. Buick and Fraser. He should have used one of them and then put the shepherd on, told them to run a further 10 or 15 metres.
Alessio, Longmire, Hurd, can he read it best? Hurd around the body, hooks it back towards full forward, just across the face, Lloyd, Martin. That's been a terrific contest, and Mickey helps it on its way through for a behind. James Hurd, 4 kicks, 1 handball, and has been just okay as we go short. And Stevens.
That was a good kick by James Hurd, though. Good distance and hooked it right across the face of goal. Good mark by Fletcher. He's playing at full back and he's a long way down the ground. Player on his own in the pocket is Long. And Michael Long, this should just about see him out. He's going to have to kick the ball in excess of 45 metres to score. And one of the things that I've noticed since he's hurt his legs is that he's not quite getting the distance. On the run, yes, but set shots, he really struggles from about 45. There'll be some big cheers here. He's a favourite son out at Windy Hill. He gets onto this. Don't worry about the distance or the accuracy. Long has kicked the goal. 2 goals to Michael Long. He, along with Darren Buick and Steve Alessio, have kicked 2 for Essendon. Craig Scholl has kicked 2 for the Kangaroos.
And isn't that just what the Bombers needed? There seemed to be a little bit of a swing in the momentum in this game. They needed a steadier, and that's a fantastic kick from Michael Long. I think Kevin Sheedy's going to use him a lot more up forward this year, save his legs a bit, maybe a couple of runs on the ball when needed.
Long having an influence, getting plenty of the ball. He hasn't always used it tonight, but he has kicked a couple of very important goals. Great to see him back like this. Bell's handball, got a free kick. Advantage given to Clayton through the centre and gets good distance. McKernan caught underneath it, but he stretches tall. Durkay cleverly on. Well done by Johnson, building it towards the line. Harvey couldn't quite keep it in. Well, the umpire hasn't paid it. It was out of play, and it's through from behind.
Something that always worries you, Bruce, when you see a ball continue. Play went on, now, the ball was clearly out there.
The ball has to be completely over the line. I suppose we should just restate the rule. It did look as though it was, I must admit, but it's not just part of the ball over the line. The whole of the ball has to be beyond the boundary line.
And even 1 point could prove crucial at the end of the night.
It certainly looked as if it was out of play.
Yep.
Long's the target. Pickett after him. Long read it beautifully. He is playing a terrific first half. Takes a bounce. Delivers towards centre wing. A good stretch taken by Simons, who's come off interchange. Hurt his wrist last week. Had a wretched run with injury last year. A penetrating kick to fall forward. The big flies. Lloyd! Oh, he's a good player. The 20-year-old coming in from the side, bursting the pack and then holding his ground to take the mark.
Fantastic mark under pressure. He's one of the most exciting players in the competition. The ball came in long from Simons. The pack formed. They came from all angles, and he was good enough to get his hands to the ball first. Kept his eye on the ball. And good luck to Matty Lloyd. The ball did drop back into the arms, but this is just the thing to really get him fired up. Mick Martin's done a very good job so far. In actual fact, Mickey's had 8 possessions, which is quite a lot for him, playing at fullback, although they have played a little bit up the ground as well. But an important kick for Matty Lloyd.
70 goals last year. Kicks from 45 metres out directly in front. It's straight through the middle. His second. Good signs for the Bombers late in the second quarter.
Easy goals too, aren't they? Whereas the Kangaroos have had to fight hard for their last couple.
They've had to do something special almost, the Kangaroos, to get a goal. But this is just standard play, coming down the centre corridor, kicking to your key forwards. A fantastic mark there. They came from all angles. That really was a courageous mark from Lloyd. And we all know what sort of kick he is. He finished it off very, very well from almost directly in front.
He's a tall lad, Matthew Lloyd, but he's certainly strengthened up over the last couple of years. Obviously done a lot of work with his body.
He's deceptively tall, Rob. He doesn't look much more than 6 foot, but he's probably about 6'2",
yeah,
almost 6'3", and he has bulked up.
So the bounce back at the centre. Essendon answering those couple of goals that the Kangaroos kicked to get within 15 points. Knocked forward by Simpson, Hardwick. Joe Mercedes caught there by Bell. Tackle all fair and above board. Joe not letting the football slip away, and the umpire will bounce between the centre of the ground and centre half forward, favouring the Kangaroos. We've got 5 minutes left in the second term after leading by 29 points at quarter time. The Kangaroos got to within 15 points just a few moments ago, but Essendon have kicked the last couple of goals. Dispossessing there, Harvey. Oh, Young takes the ball from Martin. Bell, left foot kick, pretty good. Rawlings again. He's had a couple of impressive touches, young Rawlings, for a 17-year-old. McKernan early, couldn't take the mark. Strong at the football there was Heffernan. Went back after it again. Chance for Harvey. Out wide Durkay. The silky skills of Gary Durkay. To Grant. Kick it quickly, does. Oh, that is class! C-O-A-S-S, Shannon Grant.
That's the magic you were talking about, that they have to provide to kick a goal.
Nothing like a piece of action like that, Rob. I mean, that wasn't even a half chance. That was virtually a quarter chance. He was under pressure. He barely controlled the ball. He had the tiniest of angles to aim for. That's just a fantastic piece of skill.
Well, I think we've become accustomed to Shannon Grant. He's a very good player, uses the footy pretty well, and that was just absolutely perfect. Snapshot for goal.
8-9 to 12-5. 57 to 77. So Essendon lead by 20 points late in the second quarter. A terrific game of footy again. Young belts it back towards Lloyd. Lloyd plays a defensive role to Lucas. Pick it onto him. Threw him away. Bell couldn't quite, but did get it to Blakey. Blakey belts it back towards the centre. Wallace at the back, McKernan. Abraham drifted it forward. Welsh goes back. Grant was terrific. A little give is a good one again to Shoal. Shannon Grant playing an inspired minute or two of footy. And the Kangaroos are coming back hard. 13 possessions for Grant tonight, including that great goal a moment ago.
James Hurd's coming off at the moment. He's been struggling out there, hardly spent any time on the ball. He's off and in trouble.
So Hurd from the ground, Mercury coming back. Shoal to bring it back to 14 points. Good kick. He has kicked 3 now. 9-9 to 12-5. It's been a big quarter for the Kangaroos.
He's an interesting player to match up on, Craig Shoal. He has played a lot of his football in defence, but he's a tall man too.
He is. The good thing about it, though, is he can play as a short or a tall robber. You can use him in just about any role, a key defensive role, a key forward role, or as a flanker. And on this occasion, he led beautifully straight up the middle of the ground, and he is just the injection of life that Dennis Pagan would have been looking for. Well,
they faced a fair deficit at quarter time. As a matter of fact, the Bombers did control the first term. They kicked 8 goals to 3. They've kicked 4 goals, and the Kangaroos have answered with 6 so far in this second term. We've got 4 minutes left. Grigic, not really an effective tap on. Stevens left it behind. Hardwick didn't. He ducked out of that congestion, kicked the ball to half forward. Lucas couldn't take the mark. The ball spills. Chance for the Kangaroos. Hewitt received from Grant, back to Grant. Grant's kicked to half forward. Chance again. Where's that footy? Brett Harvey. Dean Wallace, well done. Stood up grandly, under pressure, around onto his right, and then kicks it long. He'll lob the ball at centre half forward. Big punch from Mickey Martin. Gather was by Stevens. Lucas couldn't break away. In after it, Grant. Mercedes throws it onto his right boot. Kicks the ball to half forward and the mark. Lloyd was there, but I'm sure his teammate, it might have been Berbakoff, that got between the Kangaroo player and Matthew Lloyd. And Matthew Lloyd has taken the mark within scoring range. Gee, it's a sorry sight, isn't it? I'd reckon they're tears coming from the face of James Hurd. Very disappointed. Berbakoff, watch him just get in the road there of Pickett and allowing Lloyd to get a clean grab at the mark.
Great effort from Berbakoff. Also smart play from Matty Lloyd. He took Mick Martin to the contest, then he just drifted off. Mick got caught watching the ball. When the quick kick came in, Matty Lloyd was back on his own.
Well, terrible sight for Essendon football fans in general. James Hurd needs to play footy. He can't at the moment. Lloyd shot at goal. Lovely kick by Matthew Lloyd. He's kicked 3.
13-5 to 9-9.
It certainly may have been a slow start for Matthew Lloyd, but he's come into his own in this quarter. Michael Martin played very, very tight early on, but he's starting to find a bit of space. As we said, he took his opponent to the contest, dropped off, took a very good mark with the aid of Berbakoff, providing a semi-shepherd, I guess you would call it, John. Nothing untoward about it. And a great kick.
Free-flowing match, as we saw last Friday night with the Kangaroos and Geelong. 13 goals to 9. And again out of the centre. Mercedes having a terrific game. We're at 50. Martin held up by Lloyd. Interesting stuff. Martin forcing it forward. Hewitt looking for a free kick. Got a high tackle.
And I think Evan Hewitt probably pinched that one because it was certainly on the blind side from the umpire, and Evan Hewitt overemphasised what contact had been made.
Goes wide. Scholes his target. Lalich with his Scholes got it. Huge second quarter from Scholes and also Lloyd. They've both kicked 3 goals for their respective teams in this term. And he's got a short man on and he's found him all on his own Lang. And his first match for the Kangaroos, Adam Lang, the 20-year-old from Sturt in South Australia, found some space. Mercury late. Lang's got the mark or free kick.
Still what you like to see from Mercury. He knew the mark was going to be taken, so he thought, well, I may as well make the bloke earn it, give him a bit of a bump to the back. I didn't give away 50 because I got there just in time to do it as the mark was coming, and let's make him earn it. Why not?
Lang from 45 metres, 45-degree angle. It's a good kick. It's a terrific kick from the kid. Well, that would make the selection committee headed up by Dennis Pagan pretty happy, wouldn't it?
My word. And he did it confidently too.
It's a bit like last week in reverse. The Kangaroos just keep on coming, don't they?
My word. And there we see Mark Mercury just applying that psychological pressure against the man playing his first game for the Kangaroos.
A touch of physical pressure too, Robbo, and I like the way Jason said in 1 minute he knew he was going to be late, but then he just arrived as the mark arrived. I think it was probably late, mate. Officially late.
Well, the scoreboard indicating that it's back to 14 points in favour of the Bombers, and the Kangaroos are fighting hard. They've got no Carey, they've got no Capuano, no David King, and of course Glenn Archer, maybe to resume in the next week or two. So they're undermanned, to say the least, but by gee, there's still 18 blokes out there, and Hewitt trying to lead from the front, doing the ruck work. Joe Mercedes kicks the ball high towards centre-half forward, not marked by McCartney, gathered by Pickett. Simpson, who's a left-footer, so the right-foot kick not really all that good in the finish. Michael Simons, he's a jumping jack to Long, gets through. Bit of space for Michael Long, hooks it across his right shoulder, getting back, well done Rawlings, had his eyes on the ball, Alessio to gather, the big ruckman has gathered the crumbs and kicked the goal for the Bombers. Oh, good return, Steve Alessio, he's kicked 3, Matthew Lloyd has kicked 3, and each time the Kangaroos go surging forward, Essendon seem to have the answers. They lead again by 20 points.
And Robbo, wasn't it a fantastic piece of magic from Michael Long in the forward pocket or out towards the flank? He basically feigned to go with the handball. Both Kangaroo players went that way, and then he centred the ball. A good contest from Matthew Lloyd, and the big fella played like a rover and finished the ball off beautifully for his third.
Well, it's been a good battle by the ruckman at the centre bounces, but certainly Alessio taking the points on the forward line, having kicked 3 goals. Grigic up high, got his hands on the football, tried to kick it forward. No time left, siren sounds. Half time, Thursday night football, second round of the AFL season 1999. And a sorry looking James Hurd limps to the half-time break. His team are in front, but James Hurd hasn't had much playing time in the first half. We believe he's suffering from that stress fracture once again. Terrible news for Essendon, but Dennis Pagan had some good signs in that first half. His team trailed by 29 points at quarter time. They do trail at half time. Kevin Sheedy, Matthew Drain, just consulting there as the Essendon players gather to leave the ground. It is Essendon leading at half time. The Kangaroos having kicked 3-3 in the first quarter, 8-2 to Essendon in the first term, and the Kangaroos face a deficit. They are at half time 10-9. Essendon are 14-5, 20 points the Bombers. You were given Adam Lang one like Mark Mercury did when he took that mark?
Of course you would. Welcome to AFL football, son. We always square up, we know that.
Start of the second half, Grigic, who we haven't seen much of, and Longmire. Mercury starting the forward pocket. Stevens back with him as he's been all night. Terrific tackle on Hardwick by Clayton. Dennis would be happy with all of that. Pike on the up was okay to Simpson. Lazy old right foot around the corner. First goal important for the Kangaroos if they can get it. Heffernan too slow. Run down by Lang. That's a good sign. Fletcher in there. Grant over the top. Ball up. First couple of minutes really important here.
Just centimetres in that for Brett Harvey. He was just about to gather the ball, duck away from the pack, and he might have been a chance to kick a goal.
They're the umpires tonight. The experienced Brian Sheehan doing the bouncing now. North had the numbers. Simons goes to ground. Handball only as far as Abraham. This is danger. Abraham hooking. It's coming. No, it's a behind. It hooked back hard late, but through for a point. Winston Abraham, 40 goals in his first season for the Kangaroos last year. 10-10. Plays 14 goals, 5. So no Carey, but really no Hurd. So a bit of a balancing act now.
20 shots for the Kangaroos, 19 to the Bombers. Fletcher gets another good kick in. Johnson marks away to Berbakoff. Berbakoff between right half back and right centre wing. Blakey did well, didn't he? Read that play away from Lucas and marked safely on his chest, and then was able to run away. Maybe Scott Lucas just a little lazy there, minding the mark. What a spectacular mark again by Winston Abraham. And he's got the chance to kick the first goal of the second half. He'll shoot from about 42 metres.
He certainly drifted across the front of the pack here, and Winston Abraham is an extremely important player for the Kangaroos. Like Craig Scholl, he can really light up the side with 3 or 4 goals in a quarter, and this would be the perfect start for the Kangaroos.
Well, you can see there that his stats, he's kicked 1 goal, going for his second, early in the third quarter. Good kick for distance and for accuracy. The Kangaroos, the first goal of the second half. 2 goals to Abraham, 3 goals to Scholl, all in the second term, Craig Scholl's 3 goals. And the Kangaroos pull back that lead. It is now just 13 points.
And doesn't he make it look so easy? He just leant back on that. Didn't seem to try and overkick, and you wouldn't hesitate in rating him amongst the best 4 or 5 kickers of the ball in the league.
Capuano Matthew there. Matthew Capuano in the centre of screen. Injured his knee last week. Premiership player at the Kangaroos. They want him back. Long way to Gordon Bell. The Kangaroos are coming back strongly. Kicks right to the goal square. McKernan, well done in the front by Wellman. Fletcher back to Lang, Lalich and Scholl. Back to Hewitt. He can kick this. Harvey, I should say, around the body. Misses. It's a behind. Little fella, Brent Harvey. Who's on the bench for the Bombers? We know Hurd's there, Dipper.
Yes, a completely different bench for the Bombers. We've got Joe Mercedes, Blake Carosella and Barry Young.
Gee, Mercedes was good in the first half, so he's on the bench.
Mark Fraser looks as though he's been given a free kick at the front edge of the square for being held when the ball, or prior to the ball being kicked in, Bruce.
Thanks, John. So Fletcher to give it, it's Heffernan.
Yeah, it was actually Fraser held, but Heffernan's going to be given the kick for some reason.
Back to Fletcher, so the Bombers able to bring the ball to centre wing. McCurry, who started well, but Stevens chopped him up. Was able to have him taken from the ground. Longmire, well done. Back to Stevens on that trusty old left foot, and Harvey in front. Dipper mentioned they were playing in front in the second quarter, the Kangas, and they've continued to do that at the start of this term. Good tackle on Bell to hold him up. Clayton leaves it for Simpson. Simons was quick at it, gets it back to Heffernan. Terrific handball to Johnson. Wonderful play by the Bombers. Berbakoff goes long to fall forward. Can Alessio get into the picture? He can't. Martin took a mark unopposed. Out to Longmire at centre wing. Longmire can go on. He's got Simpson on his own at half forward. He won't quite get it to him. McKernan, big stretch. Wallace a second go. Simpson now gets hold of it. Hooks the ball back towards full forward. Scholes down there. Welsh from the side. Front spot to the Bomber man. And a good mark there taken by Sean Wellman.
Yes, well done. They're under siege there, and the forward thrust by the Kangaroos looked quite promising. Hardwick's kick is a good one, and he finds behind the centre wing position Berbakoff. Already in this third quarter, North Melbourne, the Kangaroos, have been inside their forward 54 times, and the Bombers just once. Terrific leap by Alessio. McCartney with the footy. Blakey quickly on. Well done by John Blakey. Good gather by Bell. Gives away meterage. Back to Robert Scott. Scott, who's been quiet. The kick is short. The mark is taken by Clayton. It has been all the Kangaroos in the early part of the third term. Clayton's kicking towards half forward. Over the head there of Lang. Fletcher, well done. Tap on provided. May have been by Simons, but the kick was ordinary and was right on the chest of Pickett. The Kangaroos will go bouncing back. 3-1, wide at centre wing. Longmire looking to handball off. Decides to go long. The right foot kick in the direction of McKernan. No mark taken. Crumbs nearly gathered by Lang. Still the rugged Lang. Away to Scholl. Scholl's kick, a good one. Not quite to the line. Wallace marks right on the goal line.
Bombers under siege now. North coming back strongly. Mercury the target. Almost. Stevens has done a wonderful job on him. Boundary throw in. What about the Kangaroos bench, Tipper?
Bruce, we've got Durkay, Anderson, Hewitt and the young fellow, young Rawlins.
89 to 77. This match is closed right up. Bombers had a big lead in the second term. Mercury, socks down. Hardwick, good handball. Back to Blumfield. Controlled it. No, out on the full. It was good play by Abraham to put the pressure on. Blumfield had to pull his kick, but it went out of bounds on the full. Harvey to bring it back. Very short in to Stevens. Gets so much of it, Stevens. Week in and week out. Delivers. To centre half forward, Lalich front spot, Scholl with him. Terrific take by Heffernan, then not a good kick, and he's coughed it up. So again, it's the Kangaroos.
Yes, a couple of skill errors there by the Bombers. Abraham quickly onto it. Kicks it into the danger zone as far as Essendon are concerned. No danger. Wellman, well done by Welsh. Provided the pressure. Bad bounce for Hardwick. Well done, Scholl. Chance for Harvey. Back towards Welsh, but Heffernan chips in, and somehow, in the heat of the moment, Heffernan kept his head and kicked it out wide. Long, advantaged by the kick, just covering the players in that area. Michael Long onto his left. Oh, very good, Michael Long, back onto his left foot. Kicks it in towards half forward. It covers the players in that area of the ground. Grigich. Pressure provided by Blakey, 3-on-1. Robert Scott, back to Pike, allowed to play on. Back to Blakey. Bounce a little awkward. Back to Scott. Good gather. Buick provides the pressure, and Scott kicks out of bounds on the full. Free kick to the Bombers to be taken down here in front of us by Michael Simons.
Fantastic pressure early on in this third quarter from both sides. The tackling's been absolutely ferocious.
Simons, the jumping jack for the Bombers. Kicks the ball to within 35 metres. No mark. The ball spills. Mercury back to Lucas. Lucas onto the trusty left. Gets terrific distance, Scott Lucas, and looks as though he's kicked the goal.
Well, I'm sure Kevin Sheedy will be looking for a lot more of that from Scott Lucas, but he made that look very easy. Just wheeled onto that trusty left foot, about 45 metres out, and made no mistake. The contest came down to Mercury, a quick handball away. He's very confident when he gets on that left foot, Robbo. He knows he's in range. He gets a side of the goals. Just swung in at the last moment. Very happy with it.
Mark Harvey and Kevin Sheedy. Sheed's working the board. Gee, it's a great weapon to have in your arsenal, Lucas, who can kick it from anywhere. Gets it 50 and just swings around and is confident and gets the goal, his second. Bell's little one. Simons has been good, I reckon. Out of the centre, wide. Long's been terrific. Been a bit of vintage tonight. He's good to watch.
He's affected 6 tackles, Michael Long.
Kick to centre half forward. Might have been a bit lucky. It fell short, but front spot. Blumfield, who kicked the first goal of the match for the Bombers tonight. Blumfield goes to the pocket. Mercury, nearly. Stevens, this is the danger when you go short and wide. Pickett belts it back. McKernan the target. Only man to really fly. They can go on in a hurry. McKernan, well done, Wallace. It'll sit for him. Wallace, bad kick, terrible kick. Taken by Bell in the centre, mistakes here. Handball over the top by Grant, was okay. Gets it to Clayton. Oh, look, Wallace went early. Lang through his fingers. Free kick to Hardwick. It's been a great duel with Abraham. Gets it out to Fletcher. The Bombers away. Fraser's got a panic. He loves this situation. Goes down the line. Stretches Blumfield. Blumfield to run onto it. An important hit there. He rode the bump from Stevens. Stevens threw himself across the ball. The kick inside. Couldn't take a faint step, either of them there. And Abraham, no, rather Pickett over the ball. The ball comes loose. Mercury, the right man, goes little. Buick couldn't quite. Terrific stuff. Bell, Buick, Simons trapped it. Can't back turn out of it. Back to Mercury, an injury in the box there. And there's Pike. He's caught it up, the umpire. It was fierce and it was ferocious, and it seemed to go on forever.
It's Clayton, Bruce, that was in trouble. When you saw these two boys, you said neither one could take a backward step. They both showed tremendous bravery, and Clayton came off the worse for wear.
Running into Lucas. It was a great passage of football all round.
It certainly was. Very exciting stuff. Grigich, a high kick, goes out wide, sitting underneath this and taking the mark as Bell. Again, Peter Bell, a key player for the Kangaroos in their resurgence. 6 kicks, 7 hand passes. Good mark out there. And that's Simpson. Simpson, handball away to Stevens. Stevens, possession number 13. His kick into the middle. And a terrific mark taken by Hardwick. Across that half-back line, he has been a sensational player for the Bombers now for over 18 months. Kicked into the man on the mark, Abraham. Oh, spun out of trouble, did it well. Kick forward for the Kangaroos. Fletcher leads in the race for the ball. The kick coming from McKernan. Close to the boundary line, Fletcher trying to run away from Lang. Throws it onto his left boot. Pike overruns it. Blumfield, he's got hold of him. You're allowed to do that.
No, you're not, Robbo. In answer to the question.
Martin Pike got away with quite a decent hold then. He really retarded Justin Blumfield from turning around and chasing the ball. Oh, plenty of purchase on the back of the jumper there.
Incredible stuff, and all allowed to be clear and above board. The Bombers fighting to force the ball clear of the... Now, there's the free kick that was due to the Bombers.
And paid for holding, which makes it a little more frustrating, Robbo.
And the same two protagonists at it there, Blumfield and Pike.
Perfect square up, Robbo.
Blumfield comes up with a footy, so justice prevails. Blumfield's kick along the line, good punch away from Lucas, provided by Blakey. Longmire and Fraser. This is a good arm wrestle right now. Both teams going at it. Harvey on Lucas, ball spills, Pike on Blumfield. Now Blumfield again, kick over his left shoulder, gets the ball close to half forward. Gee, at bravery again. Provided by Simpson. Simpson again. He's head bandaged. Long looking for the free kick, not forthcoming. The umpire will ball it up, much to the chagrin of the supporters of both sides, I'm sure.
Listen to the crowd getting involved. Michael Long, quite irate that he wasn't awarded a free kick for the good tackle put on.
He was holding the ball.
Didn't seem to be a great deal of effort made to get rid of that then, Johnny.
Absolutely none, and obviously elected for the ball up, but got away with it.
And Long was really, really disappointed. Didn't he let the umpire know in no uncertain terms? Oh, well played, Stevens. This is a terrific passage of footy at the moment. It's really tight. Both teams testing one another. It's as if Dennis Pagan has said to the Kangaroos, come on, let's test the Bombers. And Sheedy has asked his team to respond, and they are. So much talked about the Bombers and that softness last year, but not here tonight. Not by any stretch. Pagan has a 6-2 record over Sheedy. We know they go back a long way at Windy Hill. It's not just a footy match when they play against one another. And it'll be a boundary throw in between centre wing and half forward. Hardwick's been good, so's Abraham. That has been one of the jewels of the night.
A very intriguing battle, as have half a dozen other contests. John Blakey on Scott Lucas, that's been a great battle as well.
Boundary throw in, McKernan, Wallace got the free.
Held in the ruck contest, Bruce.
Gives it off to Hardwick. Hardwick across the centre. Neat kick, beautiful kick to the running Lalich. He didn't take the mark. Gives Scholl a bit of a look at it. Lalich and Scholl. Ball comes out. Long has been magnificent. Long with a high ball to centre half forward. Lloyd front spot. Mercury there. Well done, Mickey Martin. He'll claim the mark.
Good luck, Mick.
It'll be play on. Stevens at the bottom of it. Stevens belts it away. Bouncing ball into the centre. Cruel bounce, but Durkay's onto it. Little kick over the top. No Pagan's paddock for North here. Wallace sits, waits, keeps his cool. He's a very interesting footballer. Kicks it out wide. Fraser and Mercury could raffle it. Mercury on, he's normally a good kick. I like Heffernan. He thinks when he's on the footy field. Goes short to Buick, got him. He's got great awareness, Heffernan. In tight tonight, he's done some extraordinary things, and Buick, who can kick a goal from anywhere, has got it.
He has been very impressive, Heffernan. Took the short option, Darren Buick. Now this will test him for distance. Don't be surprised if he hangs on to it long enough to identify a clear lead and then pinpoints a pass deep into the forward line.
Kicked 2 great goals in the opening term on both sides of the ground. He's going to wind himself up and give himself a chance. It's right there to the goal square. It's a goal. Buick's kicked his 3rd. He's one of my favourite footballers, I've got to say that.
I haven't gathered that tonight, Bruce, but I must say there seemed to be a little bit of confusion on the goal line then. The ball didn't appear to pass that high over the pack of players forming. No one knew whether to fly. It was pretty close to the post, and in the end it's drifted in for a rather innocuous goal.
53 metres out. Probably didn't completely get onto it. And if someone had been able to take a running jump, it would have perhaps been touched on the line.
Well, certainly a good return for Darren Buick. He's had 13 kicks and kicked 3 goals. And the Bombers lead by exactly 4. Simons, Fraser, left foot kick by Fraser to half forward. In trouble back there is Scott. Buick applies the tackle and does it well. Knocked forward by Berbakoff. Ball spills away from Clayton. Back towards Harvey and Buick. Buick knocks it clear, only as far as Pickett. He gets through a difficult area, gets the hand pass away to Bell. Bell short is good. Durkay is marked. Durkay. Have to get a couple of goals from Gary Durkay too in this second half. Kick into the forward pocket area, good lead, but a good pass. Nothing much Lelich could do there. Shoulders marked.
Robbo, Scott Welsh is hobbling around. It looked as though he was tripped and wasn't rewarded with the free kick, and he looks as though he's in real trouble.
More bad news for Essendon that Joe Mercedes is on the bench. It looks like a broken hand.
Scholl goes short, doesn't come off, spills to the back. Harvey gets past. Can he kick his first goal? Kick smothered off the boot. Gathered here by Bell, slips over, got the ball away, so he wasn't penalised. Heffernan missed it altogether. Durkay, little kick, well done. Got rid of the football. Chance for Clayton. Kick forward by Clayton. Not marked by Alessio. Falls over. Critical. Simons gathers and then with composure gets the ball out wide for Wellman. Wellman tries to get past Grant. Not successful, but able to get the hand pass away, and Johnson will go forward for the Bombers.
Kicks towards 15. Lloyd's got it. Good play by Martin to keep the pressure on. Goes to Grigich in the goal square, and McCartney takes the mark. A wasted chance for the Bombers. Exciting stuff at both ends of the ground. Clayton's been okay. Martin running on for him. Longmire might use Mickey now. Will he go in board? Gee, Mickey's run 150 metres. John won't kick it to him. He goes to centre half forward. McKernan the target. He's got him. McKernan within range.
Really looked like one of those cases where the defender appeared to get his fist to the ball, but that's the value of playing in front. The umpire normally rewards the person that got the first touch and then caught the ball as it came down.
Have another look at it here. Wallace first to go. McKernan had control of it, brought it down and took the mark. Well, he's got to kick this one because the Bombers have been able to stretch it out again. It's a good kick. It's a very good kick. McKernan's goal. He's promised and teased us a bit to play this big match tonight. Who knows what will happen in the last quarter and a bit of this game.
We're certainly going to need a lot more of that, and it just appears on the replay we saw of the mark a moment ago. Dean Wallace going the mark. He should have gone the punch. You've got to punch and destroy the ball. And Corey McKernan, full marks for playing in front, finished it off with a beautiful kick from just outside 50. Kangaroos right back in it.
And Welsh being attended to by the medical staff on the boundary line. We saw him limping just as Corey McKernan took that mark and kicked the goal. So watch his progress with a bit of interest. Bell again hacks it forward, but a good strong mark taken by Sean Wellman at centre half back for Essendon. Plays on quickly, kicks it out wide. Player on his own out there is Alessio, able to mark, unopposed. Handball onto Wallace, who's provided some good running support. His kick across the half-forward line. Big leap at the back there by Berbakoff. Stevens away to Martin Pike. Martin Pike across that line, and it's been taken there by Clayton. We saw Clayton just crash heavily into, it might have been Lucas earlier in the quarter, so he's recovered well. Hacked out of there by Brady Anderson, again by Anderson, and he just, a little kick off the ground was to the advantage of the Kangaroos, and it forces a boundary throw-in.
Peter Bell looked up a moment ago. The ball was running away from him. He saw Dean Wallace in front of him, and he kept his eye on it all the way. It was a gutsy effort. Boundary throw in. McKernan, Heffernan. Well done, Heffernan. And then toe pokes it to the line and gains 30 metres.
It's an interesting bit of play. Handballed over the opponent to himself, ran onto it again, and then gained another 20 yards for the Bombers.
A win against McKernan in the boundary throw in. Grigich and Carousella, so a smaller player for the big. 18-point margin. Alessio, punch forward by Fraser. Mercury onto it. Inside to Long, it sits. Long's 52 metres out. He's given it all he's got. It's right to the square. Lloyd, well done by Grant and Martin as a tag team, forcing it through for a behind. Long has been just terrific tonight. 15 disposals as another champion sits it out in James Hurd. Grant's kick a good one to Anthony Stevens. Mr. Reliable in this North Melbourne lineup. Captain tonight. High ball. He's found his man. It took a while to get to Simpson, but he got him. Last 5 minutes in this quarter is critical. McCartney in short. Some space here. Anderson quickly on. Belts it inside 50. McKernan got rid of Wallace. Just was able to hold him out from the back and then give a little push.
Yeah, the difference with those, I mean, he didn't really extend the arms fully, and it was just sort of holding his ground, saying, I've got this space, you're not going to get it. In fact, Jason used to do it perfectly. Just said, I've got this spot, you guys aren't going to get it, and I'm going to hold my hands here to make sure you can't claim it.
No, it's a terrible feeling for a backman. You know you're caught under the ball, you know you haven't got the purchase to push back on him. You've just got to hope and pray that you can somehow throw an arm up and spoil him. Unfortunately, Wallace not able to do that.
Big kick for McKernan. He's kicked a couple. He's missed it. That was a very critical kick deep into the third quarter. They're still close enough. There's no doubt about that. It's a 3-goal game. So we look at that's the reason that Smoke and Joke didn't come out after half-time. A broken hand, as Dipper told us.
Well, bad luck for Mercedes and the Bombers. The kick in by Fletcher is good. Finds Wellman. Wellman with some space. Runs on. One bounce, and then the kick finds Fraser. Fraser can run all the way to the 50-metre line. Ducks back and then probably sets it up for the defender to punch it away. On this occasion it was Blakey. It may come bounding back. Pickett left it behind, so still the Bombers a chance. Michael Long's left foot kick. The snapshot will land right in the square. Johnson, gee, he was a high flyer. Couldn't grab the football, and it bounces off his hands over for a rush behind to Essendon.
Robbo, we saw Scotty Welsh on the boundary line getting treatment. He's got his right thigh completely strapped up. Looks like a thigh injury, but they're keeping him warm just in case he's got to come back on the ground.
Thanks, Dipper. The kick by Shannon Grant. Well, fortunately, Simpson tackled by Blumfield. Ball still there. Lucas gets it away. Mercury left it behind. Anderson just hacks it out of there again. Kangaroos trying to surge forward. They've done it a few times, but each time they've come forward, the Bombers seem to have been able to answer very quickly. Heffernan picks himself up. Essendon by 19 points, deep into the third quarter. There's 3 minutes left, and the Bombers fans, after they saw their team kick 8-2 to 3-3 in the first quarter, anxiously watch the outcome of this third quarter action. Chance here for Clayton. Gets the ball out to Bell. Bell, who's been a good possession gatherer. 16 to be exact. Punch away by Wallace, but a free kick.
Yeah, Wallace was hanging on, Robbo.
McKernan will kick it forward for the Kangaroos.
And found his man in Longmire. It's been a while since he's had a shot for goal, I dare say, Johnny Longmire. The only man, the only Kangaroo to kick 500 goals in the history of the club.
You're not talking minutes, you're probably talking seasons.
Big kick. Can the horse do it? He's done it before plenty of times. It's a behind, so McKernan and Longmire have missed. That was a fair way out. North still close enough. Stakes are high here tonight. You just feel that if the Bombers are to take the Kangaroos, tonight was the night, and they set themselves up with a big early lead. And Dennis Pagan would hate to start the season 0-2. It would be unfamiliar territory for him.
Interesting tactic. The Kangaroos going man-to-man for the kick-outs. It's very rare that the team kicking out doesn't get a clear possession away when they do go man-to-man.
Fletcher's able to get the ball right to the centre square. Comes back towards the Kangaroos. In hard Johnson. Impressive. Back to Wellman. Wellman controls a good kick. Alessio can use Berbatov. He decides not to. Lumbers away himself. Kicks from 52 and kicks the goal. A big goal late in the third quarter. A body blow. 4 goals to Alessio.
And no wonder he decided not to give it to Berbatov. It seemed to be the right option. If he gave it to Berbatov, he would have been able to run a little bit further on, but he thought, no, I'm striking the ball well, I'll run to 50 myself. And there's no arguments when you finish the ball like that.
Well, big results for Steve Alessio too, Jason. Just 5 kicks and he's kicked 4 goals.
It's been a fantastic performance and one of the differences in the game so far.
Still Scotty Welsh being attended to by the medical staff. Now, Brian Sheen has found a free kick here.
There was confusion in the centre square, and Shane Clayton came into the centre square and was penalised for 5 in.
Alessio on this occasion, handball away to Lucas. Lucas kicks the ball to full forward. Martin and Lloyd, Mercury and Brady Anderson by the look of it. Mercury with the football close to his chest, not giving it up. And the umpire will ball it up about 30 metres from the Essendon goal.
It's been a tough night for Mercury. He's got his hands to a couple of free kicks didn't go his way. He's had a few spent before he actually got them, and he's just got to battle it out and maybe kick a couple of goals to turn things into the Bombers' favour.
6 tackles affected by Mercury. Martin to gather, taken to the ground by Lloyd, in over the top went Pickett, and the umpire to repeat the dose. The play only 30-35 metres from the Essendon goal. 1.5 minutes left in the quarter. Important that the Kangaroos just hold this Bomber forward surge up for the last 98 seconds of the quarter. The Lloyd number 18, Martin number 4 for the Kangaroos. Martin goes up, but Caracella over the top. Long trying to protect the Shepherd. Buick's left foot snap may have missed everything it has, so the free kick will be taken back there in the right back pocket for the Kangaroos by Shannon Grant. Grant, 85, plays 109, a 24-point margin. They led by 20 points at half-time. So still an interesting 30 or so minutes left. Martin couldn't take the mark. He gathers, couldn't break away from the Lloyd tackle. Good tap on provided by Simpson. Sets it up for McKernan. McKernan down the ground. Maybe the Kangaroos can score. Corey McKernan, a long kick. A mark here to Johnny Longmire, punched away by Fletcher. Who's at the fall of the ball? Harvey gets back onto his left. Oh, well smothered by Simons. The ball comes out there from Blumfield. Now the chances with Heffernan, and Essendon get away from the danger zone. The ball finishes with Lloyd on centre wing.
Lloyd quickly on now. Mercury, as Jason said, he's had was one of those nights. Mercury hooks it, clever kick to the pocket. Drifting down was Blumfield. Is a lovely kick by Mercury.
And what a great mark. Justin Blumfield came in very late, a little bit off balance, and just picked it off clean as a whistle. One clean grab. But it was a smart kick from Mercury. He saw the lead, he hooked it across the body. There was a bit of jostling going on, and Blumfield had the clean run at the ball.
Well, this would make it really difficult for the Kangaroos if he can goal here. They lead at the moment by 24 points. This to make it a 5-goal game at three-quarter time. Missed it. So it's a behind. So some misses at both ends of the ground in this term. Blumfield, who goaled in the opening term, kicked the first goal for the Bombers. And that might be it for the third quarter. It's 17-8 to 12-13. Blakey to himself. Long comes in late. Blakey really had no one to kick it to in the end, and he went to the line and found it. A defensive action. They can regroup here, but it'll be a boundary throw in. Alessio claiming it, but Blakey, having kicked it to himself, had brought the ball back into play. So boundary throw in, a long way from goal, with no time really remaining for either team to add to their score, and that's the scoreline at three-quarter time. 12-13 to 17-8. Kevin Sheedy would desperately like to take this one home with the 4 points. Would set their season up with a couple of wins in the opening 2 games. Buick with 3 goals has been very good. Dennis Pagan, who asked a lot of his troops at quarter time and got it in the second quarter. Well, he needs another 7-goal term in this one. He got 7-6 out of the Kangaroos in the second quarter. Lloyd, 3 second quarter goals, held pretty well by Martin in that term. Blakey in his 15th season keeps on going strong. But where are the Kangaroos going to get their 7 or 8 goals that they probably need in this last quarter to win? Long's been terrific all night for the Bombers. They've led at every change. They led by 29 points at quarter time. They led by 20 points at half time, and at three-quarter time the margin is back to 25 points. So as we take a break, it's Essendon 17-8, North 12-13. There's a big crowd here. They've enjoyed it. It's been exciting. 12 goals, 13 to 17-8. Kangaroos need a big last quarter. They've fallen away in the grand final and then in the first round. This would be a huge tonic for them if they could get up from here. Berbakoff held up by Hewitt. You can see that the Kangaroos all around Hewitt saying well done. And again, we'll have a ball up with Brian Sheehan, Justin Smith and John Harvey. The umpires tonight done a pretty good job too. Hewitt belts it forward. Berbakoff, Pickett, quick kick by Simpson. Well done, Blomfield, and then got a high tackle. Gee, did well. It's coming back. No advantage given.
Well, probably the reason no advantage given, Bruce, was that they were running in the opposite direction, so probably square the ledger and let Blumfield take the kick.
Good player, Blumfield. Timmy Watson's number on his back.
He had 8 possessions in the 3rd quarter and kicked a goal.
So in the heart of the centre square, kicks the ball towards centre half forward. Lucas and Alessio targets. Hewitt got to the front. Robert Scott round the body, gets the ball back to half back. Clayton and Fraser. And now Berbakoff, ball still in play. He's got McCurry short, decides to go long to full forward. Lloyd almost. Blakey at the front of the pack, kicks to the wide open spaces. Simons has been terrific. Can't quite get a handle on it. Grant off the ground. Wellman has to chase, gets back now. It's got a bit of space, goes to ground. Clever kick to Johnson, can't quite get a handle on it. Ball's hard to control for the moment, it's elusive. Simons to Heffernan. Heffernan kicks the ball deep into the pocket. A bouncing ball, Mickey will run it out of play. Lloyd looks back, just hoping. Johnson's hurt his hand, wrist or shoulder maybe. It's his shoulder by the look of it.
It looks like his shoulder, Bruce, like the AC joint, which only brings the Essendon bench down to 1 player now.
He's off the ground, Simpson's hip and shoulder, taking him from the ground.
And Barry Young to take his place as the Kangaroos strive to clear their half-back line, nearly back as far as their last line of defence.
So, Robbo, no Hurd and no Mercedes and no Johnson now.
Yes, only 1 player available from the bench as Johnson is attended to on the bench. Long squeezes a kick out of there. It'll bounce awkwardly. Stevens gathers. Was that a mark? I thought it might have been touched off the boot, but the umpire has awarded the mark to Anthony Stevens. Gets the handball away to Blakey. Blakey running across the goal at which he is defending. Fraser to confront him. Blakey's kick goes out towards the wing. Anderson, that's a mark, isn't it?
Yes.
Paid. Well, the fans in the crowd obviously thought it may have hit the ground, but Anderson paid. Kicks into the centre. Pike looks to get the hand pass away, but Blumfield was ever so zealous in minding the mark and forces Pike to go back and kick over the man on the mark. The kick towards half forward. Gathered there by Berbakoff. He's been good in the last couple of passages of play. Caracella out wide. Simons has marked at left half back for the Bombers. Very good crowd in attendance for this Thursday night game before Easter, the first game of round 2. McCartney gathers. Does a pretty good hand pass in the finish. Anderson off the left foot, kicks and lets himself down. Puts it on the chest there of Caracella across the half-back line, and he runs away from that position. Gets it to Young, goes back to Hardwick, and the Bombers go streaming down the ground.
Gets it to about 50. Martin works to the front of Lloyd. Clever by Long to kick it forward. Stevens, well done. Has to get it onto his boot in a hurry. Lloyd coming across his boot. Stevens hasn't quite got it to the line, but it's for the advantage of the Kangaroos. Grant was there. Long handball back to Martin. Mickey gives it back to Stevens, a left footer. He's found himself in a bit of trouble. Back to Pickett. Pickett's called, but he'll want to be. He is a bounce. They haven't got him. Oh, that was cheeky, and maybe not to their advantage. Buick crashed through, couldn't quite. Gets back to Abraham. So the Kangaroos come away. Buick to run him down. Abraham running out of options. Buick well done. Rather Hardwick, the smother. Great tackle coming from Barry Young. Good stuff. The great Kangaroos had it for a fair while. They couldn't do much with it. Who's on the bench, Dipper?
That was just great football then, Bruce. We've only got Ilya Grieg left for Essendon, and obviously Joe Mercedes with a broken hand, and Mark Johnson with an AC joint, and James Hurd broken down, unfortunately.
Could Hurd come back, Dipper, or is he completely out of it, do you think?
Can come back, Bruce, but only if really necessary.
Bell's kick to 50. Clayton, been useful, tries to get it to Shoal. Well done, Simons, tapped it back up to Fraser. This is important. Long's normally good in this situation. Clever.
Great.
McCurry, long handball in the direction of Wallace, who's gone forward. Wallace turns his man inside out if he kicks a goal.
On his own.
Gets it to Buick. Buick, McCurry, here's a goal. Here's a goal. Dean Wallace to Buick. back to Mercury. The all-important first goal.
And just for a fleeting moment, I thought Mark Mercury might have missed that. He looked like he was going to break clear here. Again, a lunging tackle from Adam Simpson. But gee, Mercury must have been fantastic the way he got up, ran on, followed the play, and that's what... It's great to see hard running get a reward. Gee, he didn't have much to spare on that kick either.
Well, he was in control, wasn't he? Mark Mercury is a polished performer. 8 kicks, 6 hand passes, impressively 6 tackles. When you're going ordinary, you've got to do the team things. He's had a reasonably quiet night statistically. Anderson couldn't break away. McKernan's high kick just lands the ball close to the centre circle. Knock forward for the Kangaroos. Lulich left it behind. Hardwick didn't. Gathered the ball cleanly and kicked it across his left shoulder. Out wide, the bounce will favour Alessio, or will it? No, it's awkward. Clayton.
Right.
No, Fraser. Fraser to kick a goal. Fraser to go in and get the goal. It's there, Mark Fraser. Second goal to Fraser. And all of a sudden, it looks as though it may be out of reach for the Kangaroos. The first couple of goals in the last term to Essendon.
And Robbo, wasn't it great to see all the Essendon players run up and congratulate Steve Alessio? He followed the ball on the deck. He got a fantastic tap out to the running Fraser, and that might be the final nail in the coffin for the Kangaroos.
Fraser again serviceable for the Bombers. 13 possessions and 2 goals. Up high, McKernan. Down towards Bell. Bell, who's tried very hard. Left foot kick by that player. Lands the ball at half forward. Abraham couldn't control it. Neither could Longmire. In goes Berbatov. Still Abraham. Over the top was Hardwick. A front-on tackle deemed as too high. Abraham. Urgency for the Kangaroos. Abraham lets himself down. Hooks the kick. It bounces just inside and over for a boundary throw in left forward pocket for the Kangaroos, and Dipper, the north bench.
Yeah, we've got Gary Durkay, Adam Lang, Scotty Welsh, who's just behind me, unfortunately, with a thigh injury, and also Brady Rawlings.
Thanks, Dipper. Kangaroos must goal here. 37 points behind. They need a couple in a hurry, and they've got to get one out of this. Simon's held on to. He's going to get a free kick. Advantage given to Hardwick. Hardwick through the centre. Clever kick towards Long. He's had the better of Pickett tonight. Pickett, well done. Long. Oh, what a player he is. Genius at times. To Barry Young. To Buick. This would kill it off, you'd reckon. Buick's missed it. He's hooked it. Michael Long is turning on a game for the ages here. He's turned the clock back to 1993 tonight.
He's done half a dozen magical things, Michael Long, tonight. Set up a couple of goals, and you can see the obvious disappointment from Darren Buick there.
Short. Shannon Grant. Now the official attendance 48,383. So a great crowd to start this Easter round of footy. Almost 50,000 here tonight. Blakey out wide to Clayton. Clayton's got some space. Can the Kangaroos conjure something here? A bounce, a bit disorientated. Goes back inside. Stevens delivers to fall forward. Alessio too big and too tall and too strong and all of that to everything, and takes the mark out wide, gets it to Lucas.
The whole lot combined. Lucas back onto his left. Just doesn't quite get onto it. Kicks it towards half forward. Punched away. Robert Scott to gather. Quick left foot kick by that player. Bounces awkwardly out wide. Gathered by Lloyd. He's a long way down the ground, but he gets his left foot to it. Kicks it into the pocket. Mercury punched away by Grant. Wallace to gather. Keep it alive. Only as far as Blumfield. Back to Mercury. Round onto his right.
Great vision.
Good kick. Simons will mark it. Should kick a goal, and he does. Bombers are home now.
And what a fantastic piece of work from Mark Mercury. He stuck to the task all night. It looked like he got loose in the forward line. The ball sat up in the air for too long. The spoil was made. A fantastic tap back in from Dean Wallace on the boundary line. Mercury had the presence of mind to beat the first opponent. He had Buick on short, but he looked up, he looked further afield, and he had 2 of them. He had both Lucas and Simons loose, and a fantastic finish from Michael Simons, and you would think it's how far the Bombers now.
Well done by Simons. 11 possessions, and he gets a goal in the last quarter.
Bombers out to 44 points. They can go in for the kill here, can't they, against the Kangaroos? They probably owe them 1 or 2. Let's see if they really do finish them off. Pike, Simpson, Dennis Pagan would be really wanting now for the Kangaroos to stand up and make some show. That's Barry Young and Martin Pike. Comes back to Abraham. Abraham in the centre square. Kicks, good one to Scholl. Geez, a good kick by Abraham. Scholl kicked 3 goals at this end of the ground. He can kick it from here. Rawlings coming on for the Kangaroos.
Blumfield was good in the middle there. A couple of times he had a second and third dip at it.
Scholl to get one back for the Kangas. Right on 50. He's hooked it. So nothing happening for the Kangaroos. Just looked up their last quarter efforts. In the grand final, they kicked 7 behinds to the Crows, 6-4 in the last quarter. Last week, they kicked 2-2 to 8-1. And so far in this term, it's been 3 goals to nothing. They're not really good signs.
Blumfield coming up for possession number 17. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Martin does well. Strong play by Martin. Clayton's had about 15 possessions. Rawlings does well for a young man in his first game. Grant shrugs the tackle. Kicks the Kangaroos right down towards full forward. Where are the Crummers? Yes, they're there. Durkay can't break away. Hand pass smothered. Good play, Lalich. Back to Fletcher. Good understanding. Handball missed there by Heffernan. Able to compose himself. Lalich missed it. Durkay, the tackler. Ball spills for a boundary throw in left forward pocket for the Kangaroos. They really are struggling. They were 85 at 3/4 time, so they've progressed by just 1 behind. On the other hand, the Bombers, 110, have gone on to 129. We've still got 11.5 minutes left. Kick away, back towards the centre of the ground. Deft little tap by Long. Sets it up for Mercury. Doesn't he show some pace and brilliance and spectacular football? And it's finished by Blumfield, and he's been pretty good, Justin Blumfield. So it all finishes with Blumfield, but the passage of play was quite magnificent by the Bombers, resulting in their 21st goal.
Another magical touch from Michael Long. He's been fantastic. Mark Mercury getting better as the game goes on. His work rate's been fantastic. And a tremendous finish. That's just exciting football. And the Bombers are really turning it on.
Raining goals for the Bombers. The Kangaroos' last goal was at the 18-minute mark of the 3rd quarter from McKernan. 12-14 to 21-9. Longmire belts it to full forward. Lalich in the front spot, went with one hand again. Wellman was deft and got it to Fraser, who's, well, that wasn't what he really wanted, but everything's happening for them. Young to Fletcher, to Hardwick, to Lalich again. Lalich at half-back, kicks the ball to centre wing. Simons has been terrific. Good effort there by Longmire in the front spot. Showed a lot of courage to John to belt it towards the line and a boundary throw in. Well, Dennis Pagan has yet to lose his opening 2 matches since he's been coaching North Melbourne. He's in his 7th season and he's had a fantastic record there. He's won 65% of his matches. He's won a premiership. He's been in 2 grand finals. He hasn't started a season 0-2. He will in 1999. McKernan leans back, goes to full forward. Lalich there, belts it away from Scholl. Onto it, Rawlings, back to Durkay. Clever little kick by Durkay. No, it's a behind. Just hasn't given them enough, Durkay, tonight. Showed some great signs last week. They need a little bit more. He's an opportunist.
Only 1 score tonight, Bruce. That was that behind that he just kicked then. Buick to his own advantage and then kicks it long out towards the wing. No mark taken by Berbakoff, gathered here by Abraham. Looks, assesses, decides to go long. It's all the Essendon side. They got back, didn't they? And eventually, and Abraham dumped after he kicked the ball maybe. He's lying flat on the ground in the centre square. Umpire obviously didn't think it was anything untoward. Damien Hardwick, there is Winston Abraham. Hardwick's kick lobs the ball out towards the wing. Long has it, just puts it up in the air, trying to give Lloyd the advantage to run onto it. Mercury, gee, that would have been slick play, wouldn't it? Didn't quite work for Mark Mercury. Simpson to Martin, tries to get past Mercury, does so. Handball to Harvey, Harvey to Grant. Grant tackled a bit high, was he, by Carosella?
Yes.
You're a bit stiff, Blake, because I think Shannon Grant slipping may have made that tackle illegal. Abraham looks as though he's recovered. He's limping a little bit down the ground, being manned up by Damien Hardwick. Shannon Grant kicks the ball across the half-back line. Blakey gathers and then runs through the centre half-back area. He's taken about 15 strides and got away with it. Kicked the ball to half-forward, no one there. Wellman, he's been serviceable in his first game for 1999 and does pretty well. Kicks it to Lucas, looking to get back onto his favoured left side. Does, and then kicks it into the forward pocket region. Knocked away back there by McKernan. McKernan, little left foot kick is all right, finds Blakey. Blakey is at left half back for the Kangaroos.
20th possession coming up into the centre. Good mark, Scholl. Scholl quickly on. Now forced to go back, but called to play on. Kicks the ball around his body to centre half forward. Rawlings, almost the 17-year-old, has a second go towards Scott. Buick belts the ball towards the line. Longmire chasing hard, trying to keep it in. Does. Can he do something with it? Gets around Lucas. Will go long to fall forward. Again, the Bombers have got numbers. Alessio, rather extravagant at the back. Whirlman sized it up beautifully to Blumfield. That's cheeky. Fraser couldn't quite hold his footing. Clayton there. McCurry's had a wonderful final term. Kicks the ball out wide in front of Lloyd. Pickett's going to take off after it. Should get there first. Lloyd to come in. Pickett's got it. Lloyd's got it. Terrific stuff by Lloyd. But Pickett got it to Grant. Grant delivers towards centre half forward. Buick belts it away. Bombers with the numbers. Berbakoff a little one. Goes on to McCurry. Something should happen here. It will. Finds Long. Well, those two tonight in the last quarter, they have played beautifully together.
McCurry has had a fantastic last quarter, and Michael Long's been wonderful all night, and it would be very fitting that he capped it off with another goal. They're really breaking down up forward, the Kangaroos. They don't have many leading options. The ball rebounded very quickly. Michael Long's really worked hard.
6 disposals for McCurry in the final term, including a goal. And Long has just been magic tonight. He deserves to kick his 3rd goal for the evening. As I said earlier, at times tonight he has taken us back to that wonderful time in 1993. It looks good. He's kicked his 3rd. I think I've been accused of saying the word special a little too often, but when you describe this man's talent, it's not a bad way to describe it.
I think he's been just that tonight, Bruce. A fantastic spoil from the small man there, Darren Buick. The ball taken straight down the centre corridor. Mark McCurry really growing with confidence in the last quarter. And Michael Long working very hard from the far wing, back into the forward line, rewarded with his 3rd goal.
Well, I think it's great to see Michael Long playing football and playing terrific footy. 141 games, 142nd game tonight, and he certainly capped it off with that goal. He's kicked 3, 141 to 87, so that's 54 points the margin. It's certainly blowing out, so the Kangaroos would do well to hold the Bombers up in the last few minutes of this game. They're not going to do so. And Carosella got it to McCurry, and well tackled by Pickett. Could have been a free kick.
Yeah,
the whistle may have gone, but the advantage with the Kangaroos.
Yeah, incorrect disposal was paid, Robbo.
So the ball right up towards centre wing now in the hands of McKernan. He gets around Alessio and then kicks it into the middle. Mick Martin's in trouble there. He was set up. Good punch away by Fraser. Gathered by Lloyd. Lloyd's kick is a bit of a mongrel punt. Eventually McCartney marks in front of Wallace. McCartney for the Kangaroos into the middle of the ground. Disciplined play by Simons. Nearly gathered by Abraham. He does so. Gets past Lalich. The kick, it favours the Kangaroos. Up towards the left forward pocket. It came there from Rawlings. Gathered there by Lang. Lang back to Harvey. Harvey, who's been goalless so far in the game, and Scholl, who's kicked 3, has got a chance to kick his 4th.
You mentioned earlier, Bruce, that Dennis Pagan was calling on his senior players to stand up. I think this fellow tonight has been one senior player who's really put his hand up. Came on in the 2nd quarter. He really gave them some bite. He got them back into the game, and obviously they're going to get beaten tonight, but I think Craig Scholl can hold his head very high. I'd love to see him kick this and post his 4th goal.
So some matchups up there in the top of the screen, And a great look at the angle confronting Craig Scholl. We've got just under 6 minutes left. It's a difficult shot, but gee, made it look easy, didn't he? What a good kick.
Straight as a die, I think.
What a good kick by Craig Scholl. He's kicked 4, and 4 from limited opportunities. Spent all the first quarter on the bench and a lot of the second term, and he's accumulated 13 possessions for 4 goals.
And he's virtually been the only leading player up forward for the Kangaroos since he came on. He's made space. He's continually given the players coming downfield an option, and 4 goals from the second quarter onwards is great reward.
4 goals to Scholl. So the 31-year-old's been one of the better players for the Kangaroos tonight. Longmire out of the centre. Pike worked under it. Carousella to Young. The Bombers have been irrepressible. Out to Simons. Simons cheekily. Then on the left foot, hasn't got the carry. Mark taken by Pickett, who's been well beaten by Long tonight. Dennis Pagan's kept him on him. I guess he hasn't had too many options. This is Brady Rawlings at 17, the only teenager playing out there tonight. To Blakey. Blakey inboard. To McCartney. McCartney to full forward. McKernan almost at the front. Could Scholl kick a 5th? He has a go here around the body. It's in the goal square. Bell. Buick getting back. Bell's got it. Mark or high tackle, one or the other. Bell takes the mark.
It was a good effort by Peter Bell. He was up against the numbers there. Stood his ground manfully.
Had a very quiet first half, but he's had a particularly good second half, Peter Bell.
Kicks his first.
No, he'll have to come back and be kicked again.
Bruce, time on call.
Yes.
Has to come back over the mark. So, Brian Sheehan, who John would know so well, he must have run with him a fair bit over the years, and now Peter Bell from the goal square. It should be pretty easy. He's done it, so he's kicked his first goal now. So the Kangaroos get a couple of late goals through Scholl and now Bell, and it makes the scoreboard look a little better. We're back to a 7-goal game.
He did have a very quiet start, Peter Bell, but he's managed to accumulate 20-odd possessions, most of them in the second half. He's been very good winning the ball out of the middle. And again, Craig Scholl creating something up forward. A fantastic mark from a small fellow, holding his ground, took it at the second grab, and an easy shot for goal directly in front.
So Peter Bell's first goal in the last 5 minutes of the game, getting the Kangaroos back to within 7. They really have to finish it off. On the other hand, Kevin Sheedy would be looking for his players to maybe kick a couple more for the Bombers. The ball out wide, gathered there by Rawlings, gets it back to Stevens. Stevens coming up for possession number 24, kicks the ball in towards the centre-half forward area. Young is well tackled by Simpson and Scholl. The ball spills for Carousella. He just rides the bump. Didn't he show composure again? The kick not good, gathered by Pickett. Little left foot kick is clever. Longmire, who can he kick it to? He successfully gets it to Grant. Grant is 50 metres from goal. That's a good kick too. Very well done. Laying in front of his face. Not much Fletcher could do there. And just a couple of little toe pokes by the Kangaroos, setting it up and giving the opportunity for Adam Lang to kick his second goal in his first game of senior AFL footy.
And you called it very well, Robbo. A wonderful kick from Shannon Grant. He looked at the options, he had nothing long, and in the end he was forced to kick it short, and he did it very well.
Lang, he should kick the distance, gets underneath it a little bit, slips off the side of his boot, through for a behind. So 1 goal, 1 against his name. He's shown enough to suggest that you know, he's going to be an integral part of the Kangaroos lineup over the next few seasons, I'm sure. Darren Buick to kick it back in. 41 points is the advantage for the Bombers. The kick in finds Barry Young.
Outside 50 now. Young down the line. McCurry has to wait. Scott with him. Is the ball out? I think it is. Boundary thrown. Big last quarter to McCurry. Sheeds will be happy. What a remarkable coach he has been. He has had more critics than any other coach, I think, in the modern time, but he still keeps on going, and well smothered there by Simons. Clever Heffernan. I do like him. To Simons. Simons through the centre. Ball hasn't got the carry. Blakey's got it.
Been good, Bruce.
Yeah, he has, in front of Lucas. It's been a terrific battle between some of the key forwards. Mickey Martin's done a good job too on Lloyd. Blakey on Lucas. Martin leans back and gives it all he's got. Grant the target. Alessio to come in from the side. Ball comes to ground. Carosella quickly to Young. Now Young's got a couple here. He's got Buick, or he can go to Lloyd. Lloyd can use Buick. He does. Buick, who started beautifully, now he'll deliver here inside the 50 to Berbatov. Can go on. Berbatov in the pocket. Centering kick. Lucas caught underneath. Pickett belts it to the line and finds it. Back to Sheets for a moment. He has been an enduring character in this game. What a record he had in his first 5 years at Essendon. Then able to get another flag in 1993. And now he's been able to get them off to a good start after the pressure that he withstood last year.
Well, it's something like 18 years now, isn't it, that he's been coaching the
Since
Bombers?
81, so
yeah.
He's in his 19th season.
That's incredible longevity at one club, isn't it, Robert?
Oh,
he must
good.
play the politics game very, very
You'd have
well.
to be very good at it, Jason. Yes, I concur wholeheartedly there. Alessio tries to get the ball clear. Pickett's little kick, not too bad. Chance here for Clayton. I mentioned earlier he's accumulated quite a few possessions and has done reasonably well for the Kangaroos. McCartney, on the other hand, getting the hand pass away to Harvey. Harvey's kick smothered off the boot, maybe to his own advantage there. Little left foot kick was clever. Bell, short kick by Bell into the pocket. Running down the line is Lang. Lang should get a goal. No!
Oh,
He's kicked it anyway, I think. He's got it onto his boot and kicked the goal. Boy, there were some anxious moments there.
It looked like he'd hung onto it for too long, Robbo. He saw the open goal. He thought, I'll run straight in and kick an easy one. But did Dustin Fletcher pick up a couple of yards over that last 10 metres, a lunging tackle. And that was a great effort to still manage to get his foot to the ball under such pressure. He thought he was doing it easy. He didn't realise the tackle was coming. He threw the foot out and managed to kick the goal.
Smile on his face.
I think it's a smile of relief, Robbo.
Let's get out of this place.
Sort of late in a match, not the sort of thing you want to do because the coach remembers, doesn't he?
And Bruce, has been a promising debut from young Adam Lang. I think he's shown enough tonight.
Well, they've kicked the last 3 goals here, the Kangaroos. Can the Bombers get one back as they stream forward? Big fly at the back came from Lalich. Blakey, as Jason said a few moments ago, really good game. Pickett's had his colours lower tonight, but has tried very hard. He's been on Michael Long, Simpson. Mercury held on to him for a while. Had a cut early in the match, kicked the Kangaroos' first goal tonight. Short Carosella's mark. Pretty fresh Carosella. Hasn't had a whole lot to do, but he's done it okay in the last quarter. Blumfield and Scott. Blumfield clever. Carosella coming back. Ball goes back to centre wing. Scholl gets it back in the direction of Rawlings. Back to Scholl. Scholl goes to ground. He may be pinged here. No, not. Ball up. They're tired, these blokes. They're tired, aren't they? It was a frantic opening half with 24 goals kicked.
To North Melbourne's credit, they're undermanned. We mentioned that before the game even started. They look like being absolutely belted. They trail by 35 now, and they've hung in there.
Yes, it could have been a 10-goal game, and it's been about half of that in the end. Hardwick, Stevens, and Mercury looking up for a free kick. Back to Bell, back to Grant. Grant at centre-half back.
Well, they might get another one. Grant's kick into the middle is good. Good strong mark by Blakey to Abraham. Abraham through the middle of the MCG. Kicks the ball in towards full forward. Knocked away from Lang there by Fletcher. Gathered by Scholl. Kick smothered off the boot. Berbatov pretty good in that piece of action. Close to the line, it's taken over for a boundary throw-in. Kangaroo fans, I'm sure, interested in maybe whether that was out or could have been penalised. Mark Mercury just maybe a bit of cramp, but these boys run incredible distances in a game of Australian rules football. The ball at the back, Carosella picking up a few possessions in the dying minutes of the game. Good mark by Lloyd, wasn't it? In front of his face, and the pressure being applied by Martin. The kick towards half forward. It spills past the players in that area. Hacked out of there by Anthony Stevens. Across the half-back line, it bounces awkwardly. And there's the siren, folks. Kevin Sheedy can breathe a sigh of relief. Second win for the season from 2 for the Bombers. Michael Long, terrific. Pickett, well, Byron Pickett, maybe you lowered your colours. Wallace was good. Fletcher worked hard. McKernan, but the Kangaroos, when you analyse it, We thought they were undermanned at the start of the game, missing 2 or 3 of their big stars, and that's the way it panned out. Alessio kicked 4 from about 7 kicks, and the Bombers came out on top.
Mark Doran is with our newsmaker tonight, Sean Wellman. It's all yours, Mark.
Sean, well done. You've come back in a nice way.
Oh yeah, it was really good. Great win by the boys. Come hard in the second half, which was a great effort, and to put 2 wins on the board this early in the season is a great effort. Yeah.
And the downside, I suppose, is the injury to the skipper. You know full well as a podiatrist, he's in a bit of trouble with the stress fractures.
I'm not sure what's going on with Hurdy. Hopefully he'll be all right. Yeah, I don't really know. I was out there playing.
We were playing well, and from here it's a good start. It's a ripper start for the Bombers, especially when people wrote you off.
Yeah, 2 zips a good start. It was a very, very long year, so to get off like that gives us a bit of confidence around the club. It's nice people have written us off.
And it's nice to be back.
No, it's great to be back. Yeah, I love playing footy, so it's good.
Well done, Sean. Thanks for that.
Thanks for that, Mark. Michael Long, what a game he played, Dipper.
Oh, sensational, Bruce. Michael would just say what a magnificent game you played tonight. You must be happy with your own form, but what a great start for Essendon.
Yeah, certainly we aim to win our first couple of the season, so we've had a pretty hard pre-season, new fitness coach, so we're a much fitter side, a much stronger side this year.
And your own form, I mean, you've carrying the ball longer over the yards these days, and also shooting a couple of goals at the moment.
Yeah, I suppose the pre-season I've really worked on strengthening my leg. It's paid off, and I feel a lot more free. I've probably lost a little bit more weight as well, so I feel a lot more freer when I run. Yeah.
Did you mention anything about James Hurd tonight?
No, I wouldn't know what type of injuries we have at the moment, so I can't really comment there.
And a terrific win by Essendon. It's something which really wanted. Two games now.
Yeah, certainly going into a 99 season. Yeah, we certainly wanted to get off to a good start, get a confidence for the young guys, and even for the experienced guys too.
And it's great to see you playing well, mate. Well played.
Beautiful. Thanks, mate.
Terrific Dipper with Michael Long. 35-point win to the Bombers tonight, and they fully deserved it. 22 goals, 9 to the Kangaroos, 15-16.